We are brought to you today by Kai CBD, a Las Vegas-based health and wellness brand that crafts a full-spectrum CBD hemp-derived product line. Made with 100% love, the brand was created by a 20-year licensed massage therapist for her husband who suffers from chronic pain. Healing is what Kai lives for. Head over to their Facebook or Instagram and mention Pop Culture Corner to receive 10% off your order of all or any of their CBD-derived product line. Guys, their website is in the works. Head over to their Facebook or Instagram. The links are in the description below. Mention Pop Culture Corner and get 10% off. This ad is an easy one for me. Easy, as I use the products myself. They are wonderful. So head over, mention Pop Culture Corner, and get 10% off your order of all orders forever. We are brought to you today by Smooth My Balls. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, are you sick of cutting yourself, nipping yourself with those old razors that you've used 412 different times? Well, Smooth My Balls has you covered. Your number one source for male grooming products. Dedicated to providing you the very best trimmers with an emphasis on service, friendliness, and overall good experiences. Smooth My Balls has come a long way from its beginnings in England. When they first started out, their passion was for male grooming. That drove them to start their own business and to find the best products suitable for easy grooming. You will thank me later, your privates will thank me later, and your partner will thank me later, because you're gonna be smooth as an egg. Trust me. Use code POP at checkout for 15% off your entire order. Limit one order per household per day. Guys, girls, get on it. Shave up. Get it. What am I gonna do? I have all these topics. All these pop culture topics. And, there's so many of them, I think I need to assemble a team. But who can I get? I need the best of the best. It's time. I need to call in the panelists. Hello. Listen. Assemble the panel. Welcome to the Pop Culture Corner. Today, or on Wednesdays, we do panels, and we have assembled the team. We've assembled the best of the best, the brightest young minds amongst the pop culture verse, with the exception of Caden. Just kidding. Caden's all right. But yes, we have assembled them all. We got them all here today. I think we have Carlos, Dial. We got some Black Ops coming in. I think some more, maybe Ryan. It's going to be a fun time. We have so many things to talk about, including the future of the DCEU and the future of Marvel. And, should Marvel be worried? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But one by one, let's bring them in. Austin, what is going on?
Yeah, man. I gotta say, little cliche, but I like that little opening, man. I like.
Yeah,
that.
so
It's time.
So
get the panel.
I can see everybody's faces, and I see Austin rolling his eyes, and I was just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But,
Oh,
anyway.
I knew where that was going, man. As soon as it started, and then once it got to this time out, I was like, "Yep, that's exactly where I do." Yep. I like it though. I like it.
But how have you been?
Good, man. Good. I had to rush out and get something, but I'm back now, so that's why I was a little late. But I'm here.
All right. Well, next up, we have Carlos. Carlos, you have yourself. Oh, there he goes. Carlos, what's going on?
Nothing much. Just chilling like a villain. You know how it is.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how it is. But it's good to have you here. I'm excited to talk about all these topics with you. And I know you have a lot to say about some of the things here. So I look forward to your
has a lot to say.
Input. All right.
I love it.
Next up, how we doing, man?
What are we? Some type of Suicide Squad?
There we go.
What's
some type of Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
Some type of streaming squad.
What's up, guys?
Yeah.
What's up, man?
It's good to have you here, man.
But yeah, first time being on the. Yeah.
It's
good. Thank you for having me. The first time being on the Pop Culture Corner.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Nice. We always love newcomers. We love getting we like hearing new opinions and new perspectives. So I mean that's really what it's all about. We have a couple other people that'll be joining throughout. But we're alpha team. We are alpha team. So let's try not to get killed. All right.
Right.
So I figure we could start it off with something easy. Like, not something easy, but maybe like a icebreaker in a way. We'll go from there, okay? So we talked about it, like I think 2 shows in a row now. The speculation of Henry Cavill, right? Henry Cavill being rumored, or I don't know if it's confirmed, rumored, or whatever it is, but being in the in the DCEU again and being seen or confirmed on the Flash. I know there's a rumor a while back about him picking up like 3, 4, 5 cameos. So I mean, how do you guys feel about this, all this speculation?
I mean, I'll believe it when I see it. Like I think it's some wishful thinking, but like if he's back, he's back. And I'm happy for that. And I do think he's like the DCEU Superman, but they seem eager to bring in so many other people. J.J. Abrams Superman. I won't J.J. Abrams Superman, Val Zod, Michael B. Jordan Superman. So I mean, we'll just have to see.
Yeah,
I'd sure welcome him back though. If you like, and if he is there, and how I would think that he perceives what Snyder has established in his movies with the Superman character, and Henry still finds himself to be there, and chooses to be there because he's not forced to, then that's saying something about the project. Same with Ben Affleck.
Well, he may still have to show up as an appearance in his contract. I think I read somewhere. So. They can't force him, but that's pretty much the next closest thing. I think he does have because he was supposed to show up in Shazam. That was part of his contract, but the scheduling conflicts, he couldn't do that. So he still has one appearance in his contract as Superman.
Okay.
So yeah. I didn't know that. I thought he was done after. What's it called?
Shazam or
after Justice League.
After
I kind of heard something about Shazam, but I thought I wouldn't think that's like transferable. It's like you still owe us,
no, it is
5 days worth of work. You better get your butt over here.
No, if it's in his contract, it's totally transferable as far as I'm. Yeah, he owes an appearance as Superman.
Right.
Yeah,
right. So. Dial, how do you think? What do you think? How do you want me to pronounce your name? I'm just so I make everything good.
You pronounced it perfectly. It's Dial.
Dial. Okay.
Dial.
Okay. Yep. Perfect. So what are you thinking about all this speculation?
Yeah. Yep. You did. Yep. You announced it great.
What are you thinking about the Henry Cavill stuff?
I'm okay. Before I give my thoughts, I think I'm lagging. So yeah, after I give my thoughts, I'm probably going to like exit out and try to come in and see if it like fixes the problem.
Yeah, that's fine.
There's a slight lag, but anyway, yeah, I'm pretty much with Carlos where like I have to believe it when I see it, because like the whole thing of like contract wise, what's he supposed to appear in, what he's not supposed to, like it's all up in the air. I mean, yeah, there may be some people that may have scoops or whatever, but it's like none of them's been really consistent. If he is to appear in like the Flash and Shazam and Black Adam, I'm all for it. Henry Cavill is my favorite Superman, live action Superman, so I'm up for seeing him in wherever, since they're not apparently they don't want to do another Man of Steel 2. They want to do like the J.J. Abrams thing and then the Michael B. Jordan Superman. I'm more excited for the Michael B. Jordan one than the J.J. Abrams one, to be honest. But like, I'll take anything at this point. But it's like I'm trying not to get my hopes up right now because like we just don't know. But I'm totally up for it if he makes an appearance in the movies going forward. So
understood. And I actually like that perspective, honestly. I do. I like that. So yeah, if you want to hop out and then hop back in, see if that fixes the issue. We're going to stay on this topic for a few anyway. So, listen.
All right.
I think a lot of us have been wondering just where Henry stands in the DCEU as a whole, right? So where is Henry Cavill in all this? What's his, what's what? Basically, like, is he Superman or is he not Superman? Because we have this J.J. Abrams and Ta-Nehisi Coates Superman. We got the Michael B. Jordan project. Like, where is Henry Cavill in all this? So I feel like it, even if it's like a 2-second cameo in the Flash, at least that will let me know that he's still around somewhere. You know what I mean? Like that'll let me know that there is a future potentially, and like it's really like it's gonna come down to the multiverse, and like they're gonna lean into it pretty hard. It looks like going forward, especially with the announcement of J.K. Simmons coming back as Commissioner Gordon on HBO Max in the Batgirl project. Blue Beetle's a character we know that was going to show up in Zack's Justice League 2. So, like, does it seem like maybe all the pieces are kind of coming together, or am I just kind of reaching here?
I mean, possibly. I mean, with what they're thinking about with all these spin-offs, different universes, which would be J.J. Abrams Superman, different universe. Val Zod Superman, different universe. The Batman, different universe. Black Adam, potentially a different universe because we don't know where the Justice Society of America or whatever is in relation to everything else that has previously been established. I'd say this: if I was to put it into a diagram, I think like likelihood of coming back and restoring the Snyderverse per se, hashtag restore the Snyderverse. Like Henry Cavill is closer to like in the position of like Ben Affleck, where he probably could come back, as opposed to some others like that are just completely off the map. Right. Like Ray Fisher. Like I love Ray's Cyborg, and I really want him to come back so much, but I don't know what the backdoor stuff, and it's really not our place as the audience to know, unless there is some like even worse stuff that we need to know. I think Henry Cavill just operates in that low gray zone in between.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, I feel like, and I know I've been saying it for a long time, is what when we think of what the Snyderverse is, and we think about what that being restored would look like, most people see, okay, Zack would come back to direct Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3, and then finish Superman's arc. However, if that's not in the cards, I know Austin and I have been talking about it a lot. If that wasn't in the cards right now, is this the next best thing? I mean, it's all Snyder's characters coming back in some form or fashion, and maybe this is the best that we get, right? The characters live on, his legacy lives on, and it's just not exactly what we thought.
Yeah, so like I am like Switzerland when it comes to the whole restore the Snyderverse movement, but with these characters still being around in some capacity, it's not all the way dead. It's not fully restored, but it's not all the way dead either. It's on life support. And I think the DC is just going to try, and I think they are going to do the multiverse. They're going to do the multiverse. Like Snyder's universe is still going to be around. It's just not going to be the main canon universe like how the MCU has a main timeline. They're not doing that. They're going to do their own thing. And I think that I'm personally excited for a lot of the projects that DC has announced. I know that there are people that would say there's no reason to get excited. I'm excited just because characters that have never been on the big screen are finally getting on the big screen, like Blue Beetle, who I don't understand gets the shit that he gets for some reason.
Yeah, I like Blue Beetle. He's not like, one of my favorite DC characters, but no, I'm glad that, lesser known DC.
I can't point to you, Austin.
Like getting,
I was like, are you pointing to a bug? What are you like? I think I know what you're going for.
What's he pointing to?
I was trying to point to Austin, but I can't figure it out.
Bro, like people, like, I'm not going to get into it, and I will gladly explain to these people what I'm trying to say here. For those that say Blue Beetle is an unknown character, he is an unknown character to y'all's generations. Probably he's he's a low tier character to y'all, but to our generations, like the younger generations growing up, he's had more representation in the comics and in the shows and in the games. Him being in Injustice 2, him being in Batman and the Brave and the Bold, and Young Justice. So Blue Beetle has been out there. He's let me rephrase that. The Jaime Reyes version is getting the representation, not like the Ted Kord version.
Which I would really like Ted Kord, but I mean,
Jaime's a boss. Yeah. I love Jaime.
Yeah, no, I'm in on what they're doing. Like I'm glad. I mean, do you think they could maybe do I don't know, like a Hank Pym kind of situation?
Maybe.
Where they're both in it. Where they're both in it.
Maybe. I would like. Yes, well, no, Ted Kord. I mean, doesn't Ted die to become the Beetle, or is that just one iteration? Like he tries to unlock the secret, because that's how it was told in Batman: Brave and the Bold, is that like Ted died because his evil brother or something had the Scarab, and he launched the Scarab away from his evil brother, and that's how Jaime found it.
Yeah, well, even if that was the case, right? Like, well, okay, yeah, it'd be a little bit different than that than what I was thinking, but maybe the series opens up with that happening, like the death of Kord, and that's how we get the introduction. I'm assuming it's going to be an origin story. I don't know it. I don't know for a fact, but I would assume it's an origin story. Because
he's a newer character, he'll probably have an origin story.
Yeah. So that would be a great way to do that. Like you get the Ted Kord ending to start it off. Like we get this maybe epic sequence. Have you ever? I know. Don't make fun of me. But did you see Stargirl?
I haven't.
No.
The intro to Stargirl. I know. The opening scene to Stargirl is this massive fight that takes place, and it's actually amazing. And it's Starman, and he doesn't make it. And it's this epic battle with him and the JSA. The JSA, including Starman, versus the villain team. And that's how we figure out, that's how Stargirl becomes Stargirl, is she inherits the throne, kind of, in a way, right. To summarize, right?
I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, a lot of characters done that, and I'm cool with it, and I like it. But if it is supposed to fit into a greater universe, then unless it's a super established character that we literally don't need to know anything else about, just give it to me right now. I think it's still gonna be origin story but there are cases where it hasn't kind of droned on, and it's been great. I like Ant-Man. That did it all right. Even though I never really felt who's the person that plays Hank Pym? The actor?
Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas.
Yeah, like I never like even when they de-aged him and showed him to me, I never thought he was gonna put on that suit. Like he doesn't look like he's that kind of guy. But that's just age, you know. But we also see it with like you said Stargirl, Miles Morales when in Into the Spider-Verse when the original Peter Parker died. So I'm totally for that. I'd welcome it wholeheartedly. It's just that how are they going to be like? So yeah, this has been the Blue Beetle that's been operating for like 20 years, but he never affected anything, and we never showed him. But
I think that the origin story could be about the Beetle, like Jaime. Like it's kind of like this is a really old show, but it does count for Blue Beetle. But who is seeing like I think it's called like the world's greatest superhero or something like that. Like this dude gets a suit. He gets a suit from like Aliens, but it doesn't come with an instruction manual, and that's basically how Jaime is with the Beetle suit when he first starts out. So I think it'd be a part origin story, but also an origin story for like he would try to find out where the Scarab came from, and that's how he discovers Ted Kord and all of that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it. I always like kind of like discovering your superpower shenanigans. Whenever it's like, oh, let me just open this door, rip the doorknob off, or like take the door off the hinges or something like that. Right. Yeah, I'm interested in that. I'd love it.
Are you guys happy with the casting of Blue Beetle?
Yeah.
Oh yes.
I can't say his last name. I can pronounce his first name, Zolo.
Someone tell me who this is. I've never heard of this person.
He's from Cobra Kai.
He's fairly new. His breakout appearance is
he was on Cobra Kai.
Yeah, he's the main. Okay. He's the main character. One of the main.
I haven't seen Cobra Kai yet, but I'm already obliged to Ty to watch The Boys, so Cobra Kai's going to be put on the back burner for right now.
Yes. You didn't watch The Boys?
Am I crazy or should this have already been done?
I haven't either.
Oh my God,
bro, that Blue Beetle suit is fire, isn't it?
This one's Ted Kord
cool.
too. So am I crazy in saying like Metaverse was like I was like, you haven't watched The Boys? I was like, you need to drop everything,
bro.
You need to drop.
I have said this every time. Every time I come on this.
Like, I mean, to be honest, when I found out that something like The Boys or when Invincible came out, like more superhero content that's not Marvel or DC, I just flocked to it and just scrambled and scarfed it all down. I love
even Jupiter's Legacy or whatever. That one. Hey, everybody,
get him out of here.
Calm down.
Hold on.
I was just saying that as far as flocking to content outside of Marvel, I went there. I went to Jupiter's. I was disappointed. I hated it, and I left. I went there.
We were starving. We were starving for superhero content that isn't DC or Marvel. We ate up Invincible, and I haven't eaten up The Boys yet. We get to Jupiter's Legacy. Oh, this is poisoned. I'm out. I am out. That's too gross. No.
Yes.
But yes, you need to watch The Boys. And listen, I watched Jupiter's Legacy all the way to the end. The action sequences when they're like in the superhero modes were lackluster. I'll give you that.
Two action
CW, like the whole nine CW style, which is weird coming from a studio like Netflix, which does a really good job at investing in that kind of stuff. So it threw me off. But the rest of the series, I think the dialogue between characters, the flashbacks, and the themes overall, I didn't mind. I actually enjoyed the show. But I mean that I guess I'm one of the only ones. So, but there were definitely some issues. Like I had a bunch of issues with the fact that the CGI looked like it was from the CW, and that there was only really like a couple like super battles. So
like I think we need to read.
Doesn't make me excited to watch it.
Then don't do it.
Don't do it to yourself. You save yourself a whole, bro. You're saving yourself time, and that can't be bought back.
I agree. I agree because it kept teasing me. It kept was like, I'm only watching to figure out how they got the powers, and it really leaves that until the end, and it's not worth it.
To be honest, I think companies need to be brave and just revitalize the grounded, like original no prior kind of no prior. Why can't I think of the word? Like calling back to other or referencing other heroes or like deriving inspiration from other heroes and just make something completely new. Because
but that's so hard because everything's
no. That is not as hard as it is.
But when I see like in some of these movies, they're very lackluster.
Right.
Like people forgot about them after a few years. But in the early 2010s or like late 2000s, like you see things like Jumper, which is it's not superheroes, but it's superheroic in nature. Jumper. Chronicle,
right?
Freaking
Chronicle was amazing.
Hancock.
I did not like Chronicle.
I love Chronicle. I love Chronicle so much, but I kind of hate Matt. Like we had Michael B. Jordan, and like I really liked his character, and Andrew's like arc. I like that too, but we needed a good the good guy to be better because he was kind of like a cringy teen that nobody liked.
yeah.
But and Hancock. I love the movie Hancock with Will Smith.
So
and I wish
Hancock needs a sequel. Hancock needs a sequel off rip.
Hancock, I would see a sequel because the first one wasn't terrible, but it wasn't. It was good enough to make me like. They should expand that story.
And I think the greater universe of Charlize Theron's character. Like knew the history and
right.
They wrote the whole amnesia storyline with Hancock to kind of shroud him in mystery.
I'm a big Jason Bateman guy, so he was my favorite part of that.
Yeah, but once they kind of spilled the beans and they're like, oh yeah, we were living for thousands of years and like we're kind of brother and sister, but we're also husband and wife and stuff. And it's like, whoa, slow down there. Like, what is that supposed to mean? And it's like, well, no, let's just fight. I'm stronger than you. And then I have a word that drives me crazy. And here's some tornadoes.
They were never brother and sister.
And now fight in a hospital.
Okay. They were never brother and sister.
I'm pretty sure they were.
No.
They said so.
Nope.
They said so in
They were created in pairs by their creator, right? They were created in pairs.
Bro, I can find a quote from the movie right now that said they were brother and sister.
No, they were created in pairs.
I remember them saying
and they were
I remember
together.
them saying brother.
Will Smith was literally like after the dinner party when before she
no.
through the house.
Charlize.
She was like Will Smith was like, brothers don't kiss sisters don't kiss brothers like that, stuff like that. Yeah.
No.
They do down here,
they
boy.
Were created in pairs. They were created in pairs, right?
Uh-huh.
So if you want to call that brother and sister, that's one thing. However, throughout most of their lifetime, they were more they were husband and wife, right?
Okay, well,
if they knew that, they trust me, I'm pretty sure that.
So whatever God in that universe, they doesn't have a womb or DNA. Okay, we get into the semantics of it. Their parents, they're brother and sister. They're created from the same creator. Okay, just chill out.
They were created in pairs. That doesn't mean that they're brother and sister.
Anyway, I would.
What?
That does not. They were created in pairs.
Hey, Adam and Eve were created. Well, no, they weren't created in pairs.
Okay,
but, I mean,
the sword from the
no,
sword.
Technically,
They came from one creator. Assumingly, they came from one. Anyway, I would like to see more of the story, and I'd like to see.
This Carlos. Charlize came from the rib of Will Smith.
What's up, Integrity? What's up, Adam? Nick? Spherical Man.
Superhero.
Batman.
Spherical Man.
What?
He's a giant sphere that basically rolls around, just consuming all the landforms.
Oh, you mean like what is that game? Katamari? When you just roll.
I have not played Katamari yet.
Yes.
Just roll the big ball and absorb the world.
Okay.
I love Integrity. Deep breath. Zack is back.
Yeah. And deep breath. Zack is back.
But yeah, I really want to see more of that story. And like they were like, oh, we're gods and angels, and everybody, all the cultures with different names and stuff like that.
I thought it was interesting. I mean, obviously, too. There's the ending of I Am Legend also leaves it a little open as to like how are they gonna, they can do some stuff there too, as to.
Reintegrating
into society.
Austin,
I think I Am
Legend. This is a superhero show.
would have to be
how does that?
Look, Will Smith is a superhero. If he survived I Am Legend, okay? But
No, he did not survive. He definitely didn't survive I Am Legend. But
there's the alternate ending where he survives.
But that would not be
That's not canon.
Canon.
That's an Elseworld. That's an Elseworld.
No, the whole story was about that moment
it's a
of sacrifice.
Timeline.
You know, that moment of sacrifice that he takes in order to preserve the cure and allow the humans to live on. Right, that was his legend, his legacy. You know, if anything,
that's why he is legend.
Yeah, they could do a prequel, or I wouldn't even mind a sequel without Will Smith, where they explore the safe zone. Yeah, the safe zone. You guys know I'm a huge Will Smith fan.
Yeah, they'll be like,
there's no Will Smith movie that you can outdo me on.
Yeah, they're gonna be called like
After Earth.
Wait, do you like all of his movies?
Here's a Will Smith question: do you like Wild Wild West?
I like it, but
my grandma likes the movie.
But of course it's dated.
After Earth.
And it's
yeah,
pretty.
Do you hear something? I'm not like
a ridiculous movie, but Wild Wild West, like I think the soundtrack was the best part of Wild Wild West, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
But I'm down to like, I mean, I'm even into like Legend of Bagger Vance, right? Like, which is one of his, lesser known movies, but he's it's like a golf kind of movie. So,
right.
I mean, I go deep on the Will Smith filmography.
Did you see Gemini Man?
Yes, I've seen all of his films.
Oh.
I've seen all of his films.
The only thing I remember from the movie is a creepy CGI on young Will Smith's face.
Yeah,
he's had a bit of a rough patch up until Bad Boys for Life. Bad Boys for Life.
Dude, Bad Boys for Life was fire.
Oh, I like
really good.
Gemini Man was also good. It just didn't get enough credit. I don't think it didn't get enough.
Yeah, it had some really interesting, concepts.
Yeah.
But you could tell, like, I think Ainley just put too much focus on the effect thing instead of the story.
Aang's like this, Aang and Will have been looking to work together for years and years,
right.
and years and years. And then I just
That
don't know.
That's been around since the 80s.
I don't know if this was the story that they should have worked together on.
I mean,
Ang Lee's Hulk has the same issues.
Oh,
yeah.
The same issues as Ang Lee, like he's like this revolutionary director. I just don't know if I don't know, but whatever.
Well, he did kill it with Life of Pi. That he got right.
Yeah, it's a much more grounded film,
yeah.
And not that it's grounded. I mean, it's a tiger and a dude and a
guy
boat,
in the ocean.
Right? Yeah. So, Anyway, guys, back on track.
Right.
So we have a lot to talk about. Like I said, we got through Cavill.
We were on track.
We were. We got through Cavill, and then so Batgirl. We haven't talked on a panel about this yet, but Batgirl, right? J.K. Simmons rumored to return as Commissioner Gordon. How are you guys feeling about this? Does this give you does it breathe a sense of relief into you, or do you think this is just a stunt? What are you guys' we'll go from top to bottom, by the way, from Austin down to Metaverse. Is this something that you're excited about, or is it just a tactic from Warner Brothers?
Austin's first.
Austin.
I think he stepped away.
Order. All right, just kidding. Carlos, you can go.
I mean, I'm with it. I never really adhered to J.K. Simmons as Commissioner Gordon because I haven't seen him in much. He's literally just a few scenes of the two versions of Justice League. The good version and then the garbage version.
Mm-hmm.
But I never really latched onto him. I don't really have much ties to the Christian Bale Batman trilogy. So even that Commissioner Gordon, haven't vibed with him either. I don't know. He's just not a character that I really vibe with. So I'm glad he's back. I hope he could do some more. And I wonder how they're going to use his story with Batgirl being his daughter, Barbara. If he's already been operating for a long, long time with the Batman that's been active for 20 years. If we're assuming this is the same universe as Ben Affleck's Batman, and how does she become Batgirl if Ben Affleck's Batman is probably going to be out of commission, after the Flash?
You think that Ben Affleck's Batman is going to be gone after the Flash?
I don't have that much hope that he's going to return after that.
All right, we'll get back to that.
I was like, I got some words for you, boy.
Yeah.
I got some words.
I do.
I'm ye of little faith. I'm sorry. That's who I am.
You're gonna get yeeted into little faith if you ain't careful.
So Dial, what are your thoughts on Commissioner Gordon and J.K. Simmons' return to Batgirl on HBO Max?
I am so happy when I heard J.K. Simmons was coming back, because it does give me a glimmer of hope that they're still trying to connect stuff with the DCEU. I thought he did a good job in both versions of Justice League, even though we didn't get much from him, but I'm glad that J.K. Simmons is able to get another shot at the role. I'm kind of similar with Carlos, that I'm not expecting too much, that connecting with Ben Affleck's Batman. I don't know how much they're going to, connect, expand on the universe as far as that. But, I'm for it, man. And the actress playing Batgirl, I'm interested to see how she'll do as Batgirl. I did like her in The Heights. She wasn't my first choice, but let's see how it goes. But I'm totally for J.K. Simmons coming back for sure.
My man, see, that's an answer, Carlos.
I'm sorry, I'm not that enthusiastic.
I'm just kidding. Metaverse, you're up, kid. You're up, guy. I should say.
Ty, I've been on 2 of your episodes now, and I've made this point clear twice. It's time for me to say this maybe potential hot take once again. I don't have a problem.
I gotta make like a hot take graphic for just you.
It's
hot take central.
It's okay. So I haven't actually said this hot take in a panel like this. So this is gonna be pretty divisive.
Oh no.
But Ty, I've said this twice already on your show. So if people listening know about it, okay, so I want to say this beforehand. I have no problem with the actual actress. No. I have no problem.
You just sounded like a robotic villain. Do me a favor.
My bad.
Pull out and then come back in. Yeah. No, it happens to everybody lately.
It happens
not just
me
you.
Just now.
Yeah, it happens to me every day. I know where he's going with this because he has said it before.
I gotta hear it.
He has some great hot takes, though. I love listening to his hot takes, man. Because he's not ashamed of them. He goes all in on it. But listen, I don't think that Ben Affleck is done after The Flash. I think this is going to restructure. Instead of reboot, I think it'll restructure the DCEU. I think it'll give it more of a proper standing in the sense that, we'll know exactly what Michael Keaton's Batman's going to be used for. And we know what Ben Affleck's Batman's going to be used for. I just think it's good. People always think like, oh, Flashpoint, oh my God, it's going to change everything. It's going to reboot everything. And, Warner Brothers just wants to use the Flash to redo the universe. Maybe not. What about a restructure? I don't think that's a bad idea. A restructure to make sure that we know there's an Earth 2.
To be honest, I think I'm not with that. Okay, go ahead. Sorry. That was a big cut off. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
It's okay. Metaverse, you're on, kid.
Okay. So with everything WB has been doing nowadays, I cannot see this as nothing but disingenuous. The same thing that I said for the Ta-Nehisi Coates Superman. It's disingenuous with everything going on in their company. That being said, I think that they did this for my hot take, which is people don't, and this is for a certain group of people, not everyone, because I know there are people that actually want this, and they know how the characters are. But I think the majority of people they want what they ask for is like representation, but all they really want actually is glorified tokenism. And the reason I say that is because what makes a character is not necessarily what they look like. That is a part of it. That is a good 25% of a character. But the 75% else, they don't care about. And that makes the characters boring, stale, just flat, and it doesn't entertain people. And that's why, certain shows and certain ideas don't get off the ground, is because they were focused on one part of creating a character instead of everything else. Again, I have no problem with this actress. She is more than likely a very fine actress, but I think that's why WB did this. I sincerely think they're trying to save face and pick someone like that. J.K. Simmons, though, is good in everything he does. I have nothing to say about that. Like, he's J.K. Simmons, but yeah.
If I can rebuttal your hot take real quick. Because you feel like it's tokenism, and this is something I would have issue with some of the decisions they make with other DC films. Like, did you have this similar problem with Jason Momoa being Aquaman, or Will Smith being Deadshot, or Gal Gadot being Wonder Woman, and the list goes on and on and on.
So with
Black Canary and Birds of Prey, yeah.
So here's the thing with that. And it's one of those things where I'm looking at this post the Ray Fisher incident. That's why I'm looking at this. I'm not looking at this like every time they cast a colored character that's supposed to be white, that it's tokenism. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say though is that that's what they're doing. They don't care how this version of Batgirl or Barbara Gordon is written. They're just doing this to be like, oh, we care about representation. Look, here's this, and I'm like, no, that's disingenuous. Because if you did it with the genuinest of intentions, the purest of intentions, fine. But I know what's behind that closet, WB. I know what's behind there. I know what you're hiding. You can't fool me with this shit. It's the same thing that like Activision's trying to do by having all of their game accounts like promote their games and like distract people from the hurricane of shit that they're going through right now. I'm not saying it's fully a PR move, but yeah, I just think that's it's the same thing. Like I said, that I have the same issue with the Ta-Nehisi Coates and J.J. Abrams' Superman. Like that's the whole reason they're doing that is to save face.
Right. Okay. Like that's exactly what I was going to say, because that's exactly how I feel about that J.J. Abrams movie. They don't want to do Henry Cavill Man of Steel sequel, but they want to push a Black Clark Kent movie. Like what the hell?
Yeah.
I mean, is that a hot take? I think that's not that bad. I was expecting something else.
In today's climate, my man, you have to be careful with what you say, and y'all know that.
But, no,
right.
But I don't say shit like that. I don't say shit like that without having my reasons and or like evidence to back it up. So just like, and I'll give a quick example. Like for example, of a good written character that is diverse. Miles Morales Spider-Man, we were just talking about him earlier. Miles Morales Spider-Man is a great represented character that's a divergent of the original Spider-Man. He is his own character. He is the opposite of Peter Parker. Where Peter Parker is oh god, I keep getting this confused. It's introvert. Peter Parker's an introvert in high school. Miles is an extrovert. Mm-hmm. It's stuff like that that makes him a unique character. I have no problem with Miles. But characters like, and I did read as many issues as I could stand of it, but like the Totally Awesome Hulk, you took what made Hulk great, or you took not what made Hulk great. I should say, but like the main purpose of his character is Dr. Jekyll and Hyde meets Frankenstein. He's supposed to be tormented. You took that, and I understand like, oh, but these powers would be awesome to have, but that's not the purpose of the stories that are told with that character. It's supposed to be like, people that really like, not everyone really wants that type of power because it can be a curse as much as a blessing.
Yeah.
Right.
And stuff like the characters like that. Like, and I'm not saying I hate the character per se. I just hate how he was written. I just hate how the writing is done more than anything. Because I felt the same way about Kamala Khan. I loved her in Avengers. I'm looking forward to this Disney Plus series. But yeah, so it may not be as a hot take as I think it is, but I know for certain people that is a massive trigger warning.
Yeah, I would say when it comes to like characters like Miles and like others like that, it's just a completely new character, and they have their own origin story and they have their own identity, and just like stripping one character of their identity to put it onto a and I guess this is like a buzzword, you know, a race swapped version of themselves,
or gender swap, but yeah,
or gender swap. It's so disingenuous, and there's so much room for original characters to shine, you know, and be brighter and more popular than anything else. Like that's why I like, and you know, in many cases, people prefer to see Miles Morales. A lot of people love Miles Morales, as you see in the comments. A lot of people love John Stewart Green Lantern. A lot of people love.
That was the Green Lantern that was in the animated series. We didn't get Hal Jordan until later.
Yeah. You know, and then there's other original characters, Icon, and you know, much more that deserve the light of day. So I think it's literally just symbol and, you know, brand. It's just milking it, you know, until, you know, it doesn't bear anything else anymore. You know what I mean?
Right. And just because I know he's coming to the Avengers game soon. Like Black Panther is the first African American superhero, but when Jack Kirby was creating this character, yes, he made him a king of an African country, but that's just part of his character. That's not his entire thing. Like that's just like his origin and background and everything. But who he is as a man, what his morals are, what his values are, that is what draws at least that's what I am drawn to with characters, and why it doesn't matter what they look like, what race, or if they're an alien, doesn't matter. If they're written that well, I will want to watch them do stuff. But when you're going around being like, oh, and I'm using Kamala as an example, because it just felt like Marvel was just really forcing look, we have a Muslim character as a main hero. Isn't that, you know, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, that's cool, but like, what's her backstory? And this was the same problem I had with Miles originally, because Miles was originally written, in my opinion, horribly. Like, his relationship with Uncle Aaron was all messed up, and I'm just like, this is rough. This is rough, bro. But, they got the character right in Into the Spider-Verse, and they changed the origin to fit that. Marvel's Avengers, they basically made her Marvel's equivalent to Deku.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I'm fine with that. I'm absolutely fine with that because I also love my hero. And that fits, you know? So.
Who is that character you just spoke of?
Deku from My Hero Academia.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Oh, haven't watched it.
It's an anime, and.
Yeah, that's why I haven't watched it.
I don't like, but wait, if I only know him because just like passingly, because like, you know, I like watch some videos and they might contain him. But what was his power set again? Is this thing that he doesn't have powers, right? Because everybody else has quirks and he doesn't. Yeah.
So like, minor spoilers for My Hero, but like, and I'm gonna compare to Kamala while I'm doing this. So Deku, or Izuku Midoriya, looks up to the hero All Might, who is their equivalent of Superman.
Yeah.
And he wants to be a hero, just like All Might. Through a chance encounter, he meets All Might, and he asks him, is it possible to become a hero? At first he says no, but then he sees Deku's bravery, and he says, yes, you can become a hero. I can transfer my powers into you. You can be the next vessel for my power, all for one. Yeah. And it's sort of the same thing with Kamala, because she looks up to Captain Marvel. She looks up to all the superheroes, really. She's a fangirl at heart. And when she gets the chance to be a hero, the heroes kind of welcome her in to be like, yeah, you know, you're the next generation of heroes. You're like, you are definitely one of us. Like, it's that same type of like mindset and like environment that I just love so much about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. I totally get that. And I like the idea. I like the kind of concept of the fan, the normal person in the superhero universe that is just fanning out, because like if you know the Justice League existed in the real world, or you know the Avengers, we'd all be choosing favorites. We'd be wearing merchandise.
Bro, we do that in their fictional. What do you mean?
Yeah, no. But so it'd be that like times 100. The only thing that I don't like in these things, it's like wish fulfillment, like the fantasy fulfillment aspect of it. Like especially with like I have PlayStation Now on my PS4, and I was playing the Avengers game, which bored me to tears. But when I played the first few chapters of it, it was just a ton of wish fulfillment with Miss Marvel's character, Kamala Khan's character, when she was like at the Avengers parade, and yeah, the Avengers are there to promote it, and they like are saying hello to fans and stuff like that. But it's like,
that's just the plot. Like that's purposely there for the plot. But I get what you mean. I get what you're saying. It felt kind of forced.
When all the heroes in the Avengers just go up to that one person who remembered a quote one person said, or stood up to a bully, or was just being nice in general. It's like, wow, you're so amazing. You're like, you could be a hero too, and stuff like that. It's like
it's that type of writing though that I was like, okay, this is getting kind of.
Yeah, it's like you don't need to find your identity in approval from other heroes, and I think that's a very emotional thing. And it's like, no, you need to find within yourself and work towards that independently. And like, yeah, a lot of heroes come by freak accident, and that's or just coincidence, and that's that's a part of everyday life. But to see more of the, I know I'm not a hero because I don't have a magic hammer or special powers, but I can still work to be that way. And who knows, maybe they finally do be that way under their own intuition.
I'm a PlayStation guy, by the
way.
I
have a magic hammer.
So it don't look that magic when it's broke.
Dude, it fell. It fell.
God.
It fell.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Now, mind you, this thing's this thing's like legitimate, right? So it's like probably 13 to 15 pounds. And it just kind of like it fell off my what's it called? My mother box.
Off his nightstand where he keeps it right next to his bed.
You have a mother box nightstand?
No, I have a mother box.
like an actual mother box?
Yes.
That's probably why it broke it.
It's too powerful, bro.
Too powerful, bro.
It's a change engine. It changed it from assembled to broke.
It fell off of it, and then just I was like, oh, like it hurt my soul.
Oh, F's in chat, everybody.
F's in the chat.
Then of course.
But yeah, to get back to the original point, I just think that's why WB made that casting choice. That's why a lot of companies are making these casting choices, not because of their actual talent, but because, this fits what we're trying to do right now to show that we're XYZ. And I just love, just go back to the Activision thing. I love how, that showed that the fucking, the bulletins that they put out, at certain times of the year, those are exactly what we think they are. They're just a crock of shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I again have no problem with the actress. I have not seen Into the Heights because I don't like musicals like that. But
what?
Yeah, me neither.
I'm not a huge musical fan either.
Oh, you people!
In the Heights.
I like some musicals.
You guys are missing out.
I heard it was good. I heard it was amazing.
The only musical I kind of stood through was Les Miserables, but besides that,
Les Miserables.
I was
French. I'm not a.
I'll tell you what, I was miserable.
Any stereotype.
I was miserable watching that entire freaking movie.
That movie's phenomenal, people. Phenomenal.
Russell Crowe sings
phenomenal.
You want to know Russell Crowe about Les Miserables that I honestly didn't know Hugh Jackman was Jean Valjean, the prisoner in the beginning of the movie, because he shaved and he looked completely different. I didn't know it was him until that scene in the sewer when they were covered in mud. And I'm like, and then he had mud all over his face, and it kind of looked like a beard. And I'm like, oh my god, that's the guy from the beginning of the movie.
Yeah. I love it.
So to transition a little bit, just a little bit of a transition. All right, so we got Spider-Man. I know we're transitioning over, but
god damn it,
Spider-Man: No Way Home. I mean, guys, this movie's starting to aggravate me a little bit.
Not the only one.
Ty, why would you do this to me?
Right. So Spider-Man: No Way Home, it's definitely starting to aggravate me.
Yep.
In the sense that, I mean, when are we going to get a trailer for this?
Yes.
So who wants to hear the bad news that I heard?
It's been delayed.
Rumor has okay, hold on. This is not a hot take, Ty. This is actually like a specific rumor. So who saw the Venom trailer? Follow me on this. Who saw the Venom trailer?
Oh,
Yes.
okay. You're gonna do the fall. Yeah, okay.
Who saw they removed the release date from the trailer and also from the official website for the movie?
I did not see
From
it.
the Venom trailer?
Yep.
Yeah.
So the rumor is
Okay.
Venom is going to come out late this year, and Spider-Man might be pushed to early next year.
Oh, okay. So is that why they're not gonna come up
We'll
with
see.
a
That's
teaser?
potentially why.
We'll see. I don't
Well,
buy it
honestly,
yet.
with everything that's been going on via Scarlett Johansson and everyone else that's getting ready to line their pockets with the
lawsuit.
tiers of Disney.
I don't know how to feel about that
Do
personally,
you
but
think that maybe they want to push it back as far as they can so that they don't have to go through this again with the dual release?
no, I don't think Tom is as petty as Scarlett is.
It's not Tom though. It's not Tom you have to worry about.
Well,
The-
you know,
Oh, you mean
the
Sony?
cast- No.
the cast.
Tom is-
There is
there's a
absolutely
cast.
no way. There's absolutely no way ever No Way Home gets a dual release. It will not happen.
the cast is giant with A-listers. So
Yeah, there's
It's
absolutely.
a Sony release. It's a Sony release. It's not a Disney release.
It's still, but the deal is Marvel is involved in the marketing and they're in charge of all the marketing and everything leading up. I don't.
Sony's been like
There's no way. There's no way they would lose so much money because of
Sony has been
Toby,
frantic
I
though
mean, all those-
with releasing stuff with COVID.
huh?
With COVID, Sony's been frantic and like scared about releasing movies.
Yeah, I believe that, but there's still there's no way that it would logically be the dumbest decision for any producer with the cast of that movie. If they put that on streaming, oh my gosh, it would be a nightmare.
They're not going to put it on
Nightmare
Disney.
for
I'll tell you right now.
There's
They're
no
not
way.
putting it on Disney Plus. They're
It'll
not putting it
never
on Disney Plus. I agree.
they haven't made a commitment to release every unlike
Yes, they have.
HBO. No,
They
Disney.
came out after Disney came out
Guys,
after Black
guys,
Widow
guys.
and said we're releasing every Marvel film in theaters from here on out.
Oh,
Guys, you're missing
When did they say this?
Right after Black Widow released and was called the most pirated movie of 2021. Yeah.
That's pathetic.
Yeah.
Okay.
But guys,
Well,
Can you try to find an? I'm not saying I don't believe you, Ty. Can you try to find an article though, because I'm preoccupied at the moment and I can't look up anything.
An article for
Please,
what?
good sir. For what he just said about every Marvel movie coming to Disney Plus.
Yeah, Caden, if you could look for something.
Yeah,
like that, that'd be
Kaden.
great.
Dude, the Spider-Man. I just want to say real quick.
That's why
Spider-Man
Shang-Chi.
movies-
One second. Dial, what were you gonna say?
I would just say the Homecoming and No Way Home is not on Disney Plus because those are Sony movies. It's not going to get a premium access thing at all.
True.
Well,
That
Sony
is also
doesn't
true.
Have,
But they
platforms to do it
were-
on.
They had to. I mean, Sony had to agree to this, but they are like bundled in with the MCU box sets that I have. But Sony had to have agreed to put them in there.
Right.
But they have like
And
the
those-
like they don't line up with like the spine of the actual cases. How like they all have the Marvel logo at the bottom and stuff like that, and like the Spider-Man movies are like the odd one out with that just say like Sony pictures or something like that.
I mean, the Phase 1 has Paramount on some of them still.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it does. What do you guys think about the Venom trailer? Like, and Venom in general. Like, are you guys okay with a movie like this? Right. So, this is my opinion completely, and I've talked to a couple other people about it as well. The fact that it feels like Sony is kind of leaning on audiences thinking eventually Spider-Man's going to show up, so that they keep going to see the movies just to see if Spider-Man shows up. Venom, I did not like the first one. And they're building this whole Spider-Verse, if you will, around these villains of Spider-Man, which, some of their origin stories kind of relate to Spider-Man. So are you guys cool with this whole like Spider-Verse that's being built outside of everything with no Spider-Man?
I mean, also like, weren't we supposed to get Jared Leto's Morbius? Yeah, as well. And
we still are.
When is it going to come out? 47.
It's been delayed
to 2047.
To 2020? 2022?
2047.
This just, in my opinion, that just validates what I said about Sony delaying No Way Home.
No, I believe it's 2022 at this point, right?
Yeah, it's like 2022. They got delayed super hard.
We were supposed to get that before Let There Be Carnage, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and they pushed Ghostbusters back as well. That was supposed to come out like this summer, and they pushed it back.
I mean, it makes sense that they want to lean in with what they know, with what people have more of a connection to, which is Venom. But
and I think they're smart too. They know these movies are gonna make hundreds of millions of dollars. Why the hell would they put it on streaming?
If you go, and I'm going to say this because it is someone else's opinion, and I'm not going to be that douchebag that like says someone else's opinion and then says like they're wrong or anything. But I know that William wanted to join us, and if you go by his theory or what he believes is that after this Marvel deal is over, Sony is taking back Tom Holland's Spider-Man to be in these movies, then that's why they're doing it. In a way, it's kind of teasing that they are going to take him back after this Marvel deal is over.
The fall release that teases it.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
That they move the release date. You think that teases that they're going to take Holland back?
No. So them building a Spider-Verse, like setting up, like, because the rumor is that this second movie, Venom is not going to be able to beat Carnage by himself. And like in the comics, he's going to need Spider-Man's help. And so by the time Venom 3 comes out, they will have already taken back Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
Oh, so it'd be like kind of like cliffhangers, like, hey, we kind of dealt with him for a few. He's probably going to come back though. I need more help. And then So
yeah,
you know what? I wouldn't mind that if they're like, if Eddie Brocky's like, well, I got this gig reporting on something, or like in freaking New York. We'll see what happens. I wouldn't mind that, but
I would personally love. I was going to say I would personally love that if they were somehow reworked the deal to where Sony can basically like touch and or tap on the MCU basically, because I really want stuff like crossovers to happen, like Jared Leto Morbius meets up with Mahershala Ali's Blade. I want that so bad in a movie.
Hell yeah!
I want Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four. Please.
I'm sorry, it doesn't make any sense to me that and I know I've heard me and William have gotten into it about it, but that theory about them taking Holland back makes absolutely no sense.
I mean,
you go back to a year ago when, or however long it was, 2 years ago when.
Yeah, it was a year ago.
That deal broke or whatever, and the fans went crazy. Holland called Feige crying. It was a like. Why go through all of that just to have it happen again 2 years later? Everything that Feige and Sony have been saying, the executives, everything that they've been saying leading up has gone, we worked it out. They've been saying we worked it out and there's more to come. Even Sony has said we don't want to say the rest yet because they want to keep it smart on them.
I will let the man explain his what he believes. I'm not saying one bad word about it. I'm just saying because I know he wanted to join us and he would definitely comment on this, and I'm trying to do this with the utmost respect. And
no. I know, William. We've disagreed on it here publicly, so it's.
I disagree with it as well, but it's like because I followed Jarbo when all of that was going down, and I know that Matt is like. I'm gonna be. Now this is a hot take. I would say Matt is actually right about 75% of the time on things. That's my personal opinion on it. I think Jarbo's like 75% right on a lot of stuff because I've been watching him for a very long time. He has been wrong. I have seen him be wrong, and there have been times I disagree with him. But when it comes to the Spider-Man stuff, he was 100% right. That entire situation happened like almost exactly how he said it would.
Yeah, I just think it would be in the best interest of both studios. I mean, look, Sony will die without Spider-Man. I've said that before. Like,
absolutely
Sony
agree.
will literally go bankrupt. They will not be a studio. They'll be bought out.
PlayStation is the only thing they have that keeps them afloat.
PlayStation and the money that they're getting from loaning Spider-Man to Marvel.
Yeah,
but they can make that work by building their own villain universe, and now we have the multiverse. I don't see why Venom to me and even Morbius, Tom Holland Spider-Man to me just doesn't fit there. While it'd be cool to see like Tom Hardy in the MCU, it just doesn't fit with it. So, but there's an opportunity to bring people like Andrew back, for and have two Spider-Man, I think there's a lot of opportunities there to besides just take Holland back and let him be the only existing.
There was a rumor that if No Way Home did really well, and if the rumor is also true that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are in this movie, there is a slim chance that Sony would probably greenlight Spider-Man 4 and Amazing Spider-Man 3. That's a rumor.
I'll tell you Spider-Man 4 won't happen, but possibly Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man coming back. That is likely. Spider-Man 4 is not happening.
We shall see, my man. I mean, like we just said, Spider-Man is their biggest moneymaker in terms of movies, and coming off of all three of their versions of Spider-Man in one movie, especially the one that, let's be honest, Raimi fans for Spider-Man are like Christopher Reeve fans for Superman. Right. It's their that's their third vein. Like they live for that shit. So I guarantee.
As a Raimi fan, I don't want Spider-Man 4. I don't.
I would like it just to wrap it up.
Andrew deserves to have his. If you're gonna bring back a Spider-Man,
I don't understand
Sony. But why would you want to tarnish the trilogy that Tobey finished? Right?
A duology.
Spider-Man 3. What is that?
I know there were plans for Tobey to get a fourth movie. However, it never came to fruition, so we left it at a trilogy. But I feel like Garfield got the end of the stick almost. He got his 2 movies. I feel like his Spider-Man also fits in better with the villains. We've already seen Tobey with his Venom, yada yada. Like, I feel like Garfield would be a perfect fit.
I personally think did no one else remember Amazing Spider-Man 2 sucking? Like, I thought it sucked.
No,
I loved it.
Spider-Man 3 sucked too.
Oh my god!
Amazing Spider-Man 2 was great.
Spider-Man 3 sucked. Amazing Spider-Man 2 was good.
Whoa, that's a hot take.
You are now there's a hot take.
Yeah, there's my hot take for that.
Spicy.
But no, I'm disappointed with how 3 turned out. I'll say this, I'm disappointed with how Amazing Spider-Man 2 turned out because it was very awkward when I'm the only dude that actually got super happy when Gwen died. Everyone in the theater looked at me like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And I'm like, "Sorry, comics."
Yeah, what is wrong with you? What are you talking about?
I'm gonna sit down. I didn't think Sony had the balls to do it, and I was like, "Oh shit! Oh, it was amazing!" I was like, "Yes!"
Oh, but you'll let trash ass Kirsten Dunst stay alive? What the fuck?
Hey man, listen. Plot armor.
Toby is the most whiny Spider-Man that there ever was.
I agree. Although I prefer whiny Spider-Man to hipster Spider-Man.
I prefer. I don't know.
Again, it's not even that he's whiny. It's that the way that Raimi has the writing is a lot of self-narration, and it comes across as just like, my God, this is what is this? Like, oh God, like the final scene before the epic final shot with him swinging through the city, when he's walking away at the funeral, I'm like, this is so 2000.
Well, it's supposed to be like a comic book panel and stuff like that. It's supposed to emulate that kind of feel. I suppose that's why they always have the intro, the super long intros, at least with Spider-Man 2, recalling the whole story with the panels.
Yeah,
drawn by the great Alex Ross.
I did love those panels so much. Yeah.
So, 2020, 2020 is the year of Spider-Man. 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 2020 we did get a cool first look at somebody over the week, and I thought it was really. I've been waiting to kind of get a first look at it. It is more Marvel. I mean, we're gonna kind of jump back and forth between the night, but
Marvel's cool. We love it.
Our next thing, right after this. So we finally got some looks at Gore, the God Butcher, as Christian Bale.
Is that the nun? I'm kidding.
Yeah, it kind of does look like the nun. It's like an albino nun. But what are you guys thinking of how Christian Bale looks in Thor: Love and Thunder?
I want to see more. Yeah. Oh, there it is.
Oh God,
that's Voldemort, dude.
That's Voldemort.
That's Voldemort,
oh my gosh.
Christian Bale has long been an actor who transforms himself for roles. So I knew that this was not going to be an exception.
Oh God.
But I'm really liking what I see.
I mean, why is his robe?
I don't know why, but this reminded me of him playing Moses.
Oh boy, let's not talk about that.
I like that one too.
He just doesn't have like I just don't think his face is 100% like the way I think it should be.
Well, we need to see more of his face.
Yeah.
We're only
there's CGI a part of.
Can I just say?
I would assume so. I'd assume that.
Like Gore doesn't have a nose, right?
He does not. No, well, not in the typical sense.
Two nostrils.
Yeah, but this is why his things.
Oh God.
Yeah, so this is what he kind of looks like. So, I mean, obviously it's Marvel Studios.
Why didn't they just CG this?
They're gonna take liberties, and they're gonna, change things to, more fit their style and their live action universe. However, I'm liking the way he looks. I know it looks a little bit nunny. Yeah, I get that, but you have to remember who you're messing with, right? I mean, this guy he really like is no joke. And I would not want to tangle with him.
Looking at some like comic book photos, they're gonna CGI him. I mean, like he does have the physique, the kind of like muscular, like but kind of thin, lanky body, and then cleaning it up with the CGI with like making the nose more of flat animalistic nose and stuff like that. I could. I'm kind of down.
He also has like
he
also has these like tentacle things as well. So I mean, there's gonna be a lot of CG that comes
it's like the necro sword, right? Is that what it's called?
He's gonna see what he has there on him, like the long tentacles that come out of his hood. Like there's gonna be a lot of CG, especially if they go the route that I think they're going. It's going to be a lot of touch up, and I'm assuming that's why, we get face dots and everything like that. But I mean, Gore the God Butcher is hands down one of the most deadliest foes of Thor there is, right? He is not to be trifled with. He's not to be underestimated. And, Hela was cool.
He's called the God Butcher.
Yes. Yeah. Hela was cool. I don't know. It was like whatever, more family kind of stuff, and
it's so Ragnarok, and you're trying to be family friendly, like
this.
So wait, it's just like wait. So what was the premise of Thor 3? It's about family. It's all about family.
Dumb rams into Surtur.
But now this is unprecedented for Marvel, right? A fourth solo outing. I mean, it's not technically going to be a solo outing, considering all the characters that are going to show up, throughout it. However, I'm really excited for Thor: Love and Thunder. I think this is going to be. I liked Ragnarok, but I liked it because, I liked it for different reasons than most. I didn't like it because the comedy. I liked it because it was like an otherworldly story. And it wasn't like the same as the Avengers, it was its own thing, which is cool. It introduced some cool new characters. And then after Ragnarok, I was like, oh man, I would love to see more Thor movies. He's the one character that you could keep telling stories because he's Thor. He doesn't typically, he's got a long lifespan. Yeah. And now him shacked up with the Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, we have infinite stories that we could run with here. So do you guys think this is going to be like a team up movie versus Gore because he's so powerful?
Yeah, Star-Lord is in the movie. Chris Pratt was seen in
basically the whole
in photos.
Yeah, basically
right?
the whole Guardians cast is going to be in it.
I mean, even
if it's just a cameo for some of them, like even if it's just a little bit for some of them. I mean, like the whole Guardians team was on a plane heading out to Australia to film. So
I'm just worried about Taika kind of like putting his stamp on this because like. I mean, I believe in Christian Bale, and I believe that he makes the right choices. And if Christian Bale was going to be seen as a fool and like have to do these jokes where I'm giving a menacing plan. I'm talking to the masses and stuff like that, and it's like super dramatic and stuff, and then it's just a wide shot. The villain is super small, and then just the crowd is just like, yeah, we don't care. You suck.
Or like he does something that's really menacing or whatever, and then out of nowhere he just gets hit with something out of left field and makes him like a punk.
Yeah, like
right.
so.
And listen, I know that this movie is going to open up with Gore executing Zeus.
Yes.
What better of a
Zeus?
way?
Yes.
You're bringing Zeus in. You're bringing Russell Crowe.
I didn't hear about this.
Russell Crowe is really expensive. Not that he's the most expensive, but he's pretty expensive. So to bring him in, to kind of bring that name recognition in, plus like does look the part of Zeus, like, and then have that opening sequence be Gore just, showing that he is the God Butcher. Like if that won't set a tone for this movie, then I don't know.
But also give me a fight. Like I want to see Russell Crowe.
Of course.
That makes me ask the question.
Yeah, I want it to be an epic fight, but I definitely want to see Gore.
Of course,
when Thanos and Hulk fight on the spaceship in the beginning of Infinity War, where Hulk
should have
gets
a
some
rematch.
good hits in.
Right.
But then Thanos just like looks up and he's just like, and then they're like
karate chops his
let him
face,
have his fun, and then just goes to town on him. Kind of something like that where that kind of happens. But you should you need to demonstrate how serious this guy is, how serious this villain is, and I think that'd be a really good way to do it.
I don't know the story of Gore the God Butcher, but now that I think about it, like, okay, does anybody else know the story of him?
I don't. I think he's a more recent character, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think he is, but just with the name and tails, and I didn't know Zeus was going to be in the movie, but if he is, that's awesome. And if he's going to be one to die by Gore's hand, then like he really is a God Butcher seeking out like
that makes me beg a question
these
though.
Godly beings, and then like wanting to execute him and stuff like that. Would that mean if Star-Lord is in the movie, he's technically a Celestial? He's a god, or at least half of one. And he lost his power after the source of his power, his father, died. But if he could kind of like, and I really hope they could do this, if they want to like say by technicality he's still a god, and that's why Gore's hunting him, and then in a way, like, I mean, he's just mortal, but if he kind of ignites that spark within him again, I would like for Star-Lord to kind of bust out his celestial heritage.
You want to see Big Pac-Man again, don't you?
Yeah,
maybe.
And Gore. And listen,
I think that'd be awesome.
Gore. The thing about Gore is, so Gore he like grew up on a planet, yada yada. I don't think the planet had a
name.
I don't think it had a name. I can't recall though. But it was like a very he was like very poverty stricken. He didn't have food, and he put his faith in the gods. Then they never answered. Yada yada. He built like this rage, towards the gods. And that's kind of like his motive, right? Like that's his motivation.
This sounds partially like what's the name, Atrocitus, the Red Lantern.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
But
that's also like, wouldn't that be like Asura from Asura's Wrath? I don't know. I'm just thinking of like, there's like a lot of stories. There's a lot of stories of just like, I was one of the gods, or like I knew the gods and stuff like that. And
Kratos.
They betrayed me, That's it.
And
I
I
want to
will
kill
have my revenge.
all of them. I love Kratos. I love God of War. Yo, and by the way, Death Battle, Zero versus Kratos. Kratos should win.
Yeah, and he is a new character though. So I mean, I think he's only been around since like 2011, 2012. I know it was in the God of Thunder run, which I that's like that was like one of the first Thor comics that I ever read. So,
like, I have a question though, because Marvel does have a version of Heracles. Does that mean that he could potentially show up if there's a Thor 5?
Are you talking about Hercules, or is that a different character?
Heracles and Heracles is actually the Greek name of Hercules. Hercules is actually Roman, even though we kind of associate Hercules with Greek mythology.
Well,
gotcha.
I was just saying it to sound cool, and y'all had to correct me.
No.
Sorry about that.
I was being genuine.
No, but like, again, I know you were talking. It's just like everyone else. Well, like puts on the glasses. Technically, like, oh. But no, but no, like for real though, because like Hercules in Marvel Comics, it's a really cool character, and he has somewhat of a rivalry with Thor. And since Thor has been known to be kind of childish with his rivalries with like Hulk and Star-Lord, like I would love to see that type of. That's where you get the comedy from Thor. Is stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and well, his gripe with Thor. I mean, so his gripe with I don't want to say his gripe with Thor, but
it's like the Greek gods are better than the Norse gods, basically.
There's a lot to it. There really is a lot to it.
I just like, how are they going to establish the Greek gods in the MCU? Like, there's no kind of,
Phil, they'll do better than they did in the DCEU. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, there was there was no kind of showing of their presence, or that there's a wider pantheon and that these characters exist, because like I guess they could kind of hand wave it where the Greek gods, oh yeah, they're always chilling on Earth, doing their thing. But then that's like the Eternals kind of thing. It's like the Eternals, oh, we were just chilling here. We're gods from space, but we don't interfere with human civilization, and we don't interfere with human events and stuff like that. So if they're gonna go that route again,
that sounds like the Watcher more than the Eternals.
I'm gonna kind of not like it. You know what I mean? Because you can kind of hand wave. Oh, the Norse gods, they're just advanced aliens. They visit Earth a few times. People started worshiping them, and like making mythology about them. But some of that mythology is actually true. So like,
what I like
about that, but
what I like about Gore though is that. Like, so he, was on the brink of death and starvation, and then he goes on this like path, or he goes down this path, right? And then he ends up not believing in gods anymore, right? And then he's kind of like outcasted, yada yada. But then on his journey or exile, he sees two gods battling. And then, they crash land or something like that. They like fall to the ground, and one of them begs him for help. And that's when he realizes that gods do exist. However, they never answered his prayers when he was in need. And now this God is asking for his help. So like it kind of like turns tables, and now he sets out to destroy all the gods. Like his motivations are pretty simple, but they're pure. And I think Marvel, I really don't think they're going to do like the corny villain with this one. I think this is going to be like a super legitimate. I really do think he's going to kill Thor, like in this movie. I think he's going to kill Thor.
Well, Chris has said he's not done with Marvel yet, though. Like even after this film,
But killing Thor, you know what that means? Like it's Marvel. They can.
He's going to hell or Valhalla.
Yeah, but something's going to happen between Gore and Thor.
Gore and Thor.
Gore and Thor. And then, I don't know if they're going to go down the route where if Natalie Portman's character is going to be sick with cancer, that's why she takes over as Thor. So
she's gonna. They're doing that entire plot line, and
I hope they do that plot line, but they could tweak it a little bit. Where
she stays alive.
As someone who's a prequel fan, she's not. Oh my god! Like I don't think she's a good actress. And this is like. Nostalgia aside, I've seen Natalie in a lot of movies, surprisingly, and she just at best she can come off as half decent.
Yeah, I don't think she can lead a franchise. That's for sure. Like,
Yeah.
not a Thor franchise. She can't take over for Thor. Like she can't take over for Chris Hemsworth on the 4th movie.
Especially after all the shit she talked about superhero movies. I'm sorry, I'm going to be that petty about it. Like, she was like, I'm a real actress. I don't need these films. Literally doesn't get any work for like forever. Like she did Black Swan, but after that it was nothing. And now she comes back as like Jane Foster Thor, and I'm like, I hate this for multiple reasons now.
Hey, William.
What's going on, man?
How we doing?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. We're on the Thor topic already.
Yeah, we're on the Thor topic already. But guys, actually, Austin's gonna take over. I do gotta head out. But Caden and Austin are still here. They're gonna be running it. And then I will. I just have one thing to do, so I'm probably gonna make it back before you guys end. But
Cool.
I will see you guys soon. Okay.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. In Austin we trust. In Austin
That's
and Caden
right.
we trust.
It's my show now.
Look at me.
You've got this.
Now.
Probably.
Just one of you turn the camera on or something.
Yep.
Can't leave William here alone.
All right, there we
Here
go.
alone. Yeah,
There we go. I look pretty. I look pretty for the camera.
William.
What's up, William? Man, hey, well, obviously, William. You know, we haven't heard from you on all this. So what are your thoughts on all this this Thor Love and Thunderness?
I can't stand this franchise, so it really, I there's nothing much I like about this franchise to begin with. I don't think Chris Hemsworth is the type of actor that can carry things like this, and that's why they clutter his movies with every distraction they could possibly put in. I like him with the Avengers. He's perfect. When he's with the Avengers, I love the way that he interacts. But on his own, his movies to me are in the bottom percentage of all the Marvel movies I've seen. If I could unsee the Thor movies, I could, it wouldn't be a waste of time. Especially Ragnarok. I thought Ragnarok was, let's have you look at every laser we possibly can so that we can distract you from just how bad our main hero is in this movie.
Said Ragnarok. Thank you, William. God.
Yeah.
I could have said Ragnarok was trash like a while ago, but
yeah, Dark World wasn't. I mean, like I said, he's just not the kind of character, the way they've developed him in the MCU, that can exist on his own without a whole bunch of other things going on. And by the way, here's Chris Hemsworth. That's pretty much what Thor is to me, MCU. So no, I have this new Thor movie. I mean, I don't, now that it's not wrapped up into the Infinity Saga and all that other stuff, this is going to be one of them wait to video things. I mean, literally not day in, day up. I'm like literally when it hits digital on demand after its main run, I'm not going to be there to see that one on the first night like I usually am for most of these movies.
No interest even in the Christian Bale God Butcher part or anything there?
None whatsoever. That's like me being excited for finally seeing the Grandmaster on big screen after years of collecting comics and them getting one of the best actors you could ever get to play him. And then that performance is what I got. So I can't really get excited for anything that gets filtered through a Thor movie is like running it through a dirty strainer. So I'm like, that's just my opinion. I know other people.
I mean, now that I'm like, I'm thinking like this is after Ragnarok. Okay, this is after Thor's journey in Endgame and Infinity War, and then they're gonna have the whole story with Thor 4 with Gore and stuff like that, and Natalie Portman's character. I'm just thinking, well, like if Chris is gonna continue and like kind of level up as a character, if they're like trying to go down like Rune King Thor route, I kind of would like that.
they're going to go down the unworthy Thor route if Jane gets Mjolnir, just like they're recently doing in the comics.
Well, yeah, you know what? Like whenever these movies come out, they always tie comics in with it, so I could believe that, but
they loosely base it. I mean, like Civil War wasn't really Civil War, but you got the gist of it. So and they did it enough. They don't have to copy the comics exactly. I mean, them using it as a premise is fine with me. It's just how it's been executed in Thor movies. And this is from a director I like. I like Taika Waititi's work. This is the only stuff that I just cannot sit through anymore. I mean, the same guy who directed Jojo Rabbit, got an Oscar for Jojo Rabbit, made Thor Ragnarok. I say that to myself every time to see if it sounds real, and I'm like, and I sit through the movies and I'm like, this can't be the same guy who made this masterpiece made that. But everybody got to have a bad couple of days at work, I guess.
Yeah, right. I mean, he did. Well, Taika did say, I think, about Love and Thunder that he's throwing like everything he wants.
That
into
doesn't
this
make
movie
me excited.
or whatever. Yeah, I will say
that's
that,
not a good thing.
That comment concerned me because, another maybe hot take to some of the people here. I love Zack Snyder, but Zack Snyder, when he does whatever he wants with nobody,
Slow-mo's going to be involved in about good 25%.
Well, look, you'll get something like Army of the Dead, which is good, but it's incredibly messy.
I agree with that.
That's its appeal, though. That's its appeal. Unfortunately, if you're going to do a zombie movie, you're that kind of. If you take away the clutter in that movie, you pretty much take away the appeal of the movie.
It's interesting because I say that, and I still say that Zack, with that movie, redefines the zombie movie genre for sure. It just I've noticed that too. Even like with the length of Zack Snyder's Justice League, for me, like I could cut a good 30 minutes out of that movie, and it still be a masterpiece. It's just I think when directors, they have that mentality, they want to put everything they want. They need somebody there to be like, okay,
that's true,
he's up here,
but like, it's just the nature of studio, like having studios own these properties and dole it out to the directors. That your job is not guaranteed, and based on the box office performance, you could lose your job the day after release or something like that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So if the director is throwing everything in the kitchen sink at the story, I kind of understand. You know what I mean? So like,
you need a good producer. You need a good producer, and that's something. Yes, that's the only thing that like I said, Kevin Feige, the way like I said, not always a fan of the content they put out, but at the same time, he does have a blueprint and a game plan that they can kind of usher things around. Whereas where you see with DC, there's just, like I said, it's kind of disorganized. You don't know what fits where, and it's really hard to tell somebody not to throw in everything when you don't have a plan. If you don't have a plan, everything is the plan. So that's upper management's fault right there, putting with the right people in place.
Yeah.
Honestly, and if this stream is hot take central, because like we got that slide hot take alert. Honestly, I think you could
access to the cutaways.
Yeah, I was waiting for it.
I don't care.
Hate it. I got to step away from it.
Scream for the producer with it.
Scream for the producer.
I'm thinking the same thing. To be honest, if a director is truly like unbridled and stuff like that, I think because they don't have a guarantee. There it is.
Hey.
Because they don't have a guarantee of, okay, I can tell my story as slow as I want it to and introduce this and introduce that. Nope, you're only gonna have one movie. You have one set time and one cast and one budget. Go wild, stuff like that. And that's something that I've kind of been trying to like get to with like Zack Snyder's Justice League. I think it was too much too fast, honestly. Even though it is Zack's vision and the whole DC and like his Snyderverse and his arc, it's not meant to be interconnected, woven, blah blah blah. MCU going on for 10 years or 20 years, something like that. It's not meant to be that. And honestly, maybe I would have preferred it that way if it was an MCU-esque thing. You know what I mean? Right. While still having creative vision, weaving it into a greater story that develops and stuff like that, and not throwing the universal avatar of a universe-sized being of evil like Darkseid, and then ending him after a few movies and stuff like that. It's like,
I think there you have to kind of get behind the idea of that, like,
well, Zack, if I'm not mistaken,
Zack was never going to do like what Marvel did, expand. Like he had a 5-movie arc, with the possibility of like Man of Steel 2, to throw in there. Like that was gonna be, and I like that we were gonna get like over the span of maybe 5 or however many years it would have been, we would have gotten a complete story in the DCEU. Whereas like Marvel, we're in year 15, the story's still going, like which is cool. I like that as well. But I like.
I guess I just don't like that idea of the finality of it all. You know what I mean? Like,
I do.
Of course, everything has to end eventually.
Yes.
But like, if we see Superman and he is fighting, he only fights Zod, and then after that, the next major villain is, Doomsday. Yeah, that was kind of like a hiccup, and he died. But the next major villain. Now we're just getting into God territory, and Superman has always been this kind of being that could go toe to toe with like literally universe, eating or like universe conquering like monsters and beings. It's like, well, he has to level up, like maybe destroy a planet here or there, maybe a galaxy, but like the whole universe is at stake and everything will be controlled. And now it's done. It's like, I'm like, ease me into it, but that's just that's just the nature of having a one-off story. You know what I mean? And that's just my opinion.
Darkseid was in existence long before any of that was to begin with. So
Yeah.
Darkseid was a threat before we even knew who Superman was.
Yeah.
So bringing Superman into that 5-story arc, it was him as part of it. The universe was always that threat before we even knew Man of Steel was coming out, because Darkseid is a threat to the entire all reality.
No, I get that.
Bringing him in and him being a part of the anti-life equation and everything else, the fact that they rushed it, you have to look at it through the lens of bad management at the time, because the way it rolled out wasn't the way it was supposed to roll out. All these movies, Justice League, BVS, were all Superman movies. That's why when people say, "Oh, I want a sequel to Man of Steel 2," you got it in Batman versus Superman. This was supposed to be the evolution.
But wasn't it the studio wanted Batman versus Superman, so Zack had to make it work like around that, right?
Batman versus Superman was his, but the way they adding Wonder Woman in it to it that early, adding Doomsday in it that early, that was probably stuff that came from outside. But even BVS was fine where it's at. I wouldn't have done it that way. I wouldn't have added Doomsday in there. But
what about like all the snippets of like the different Justice League members, like that was shown via like video footage?
I mean, I think that's fine.
I thought that was fine.
Was to assemble
felt
the
like a
Justice League.
mid-credit scene.
Yeah, I thought that was fine.
Yeah, the goal was to assemble the Justice League, because the Justice League itself is a Superman-centric concept to begin with. The first superhero leading the first superhero team ever created. That's literally what it is. Superman is the first superhero, costume cape superhero, leading the basically the first major superhero outside of the JSA. So that was everything was revolving around Superman. Even when he's not in the movie, he is the crux of Justice League. They're bringing him back. He's dead for half the movie, but it's a Superman movie. So all these movies was a Superman arc. So I understand. And going from that, though, he set the basis. And if anybody wanted to branch off from that, that's pretty much what he set it up for.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just that with that storyline up, like Darkseid is always there. You know what I mean? He's been there from the beginning, because he is in a universe that's outside of time. He's a being outside of time. You know what I mean? And he can like traverse the multiverse and stuff like that. I understand that, but just going that route, and it could be Zack's saga and stuff like that. But just saying that's the foundation. No, that's the whole entire house. You know what I mean? Like, you can't.
How much time do you have to tell these stories, though? I mean, it's not like you have 50 movies to tell a story before you water down the evolution of the character. So I don't want to see him fighting, Lex Luthor again or some other mid-level enemy before he gets to the. If you had like 20 movies, maybe, but where are you going to be at the end of 20 movies? You're going to end up starting to water down the character and having to bring in, Rocket Raccoon type things just to keep telling a story.
Sure. I do think my only gripe was that I do wish he would have taken somebody like Brainiac on before. Somebody else extraterrestrial, not Darkseid power, but somebody like him an alien.
Brainiac's not the kind of character that would bring together the Justice League. Darkseid is.
Yeah, I agree, but I'm saying like that's where I think like a Man of Steel 2 sequel would have fit in there, kind of well. That's
like Parasite.
My battery
like Parasite.
When I can. Okay.
All right, it was nice talking.
All right, man. I'll back in and get a new battery.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
I think Brainiac is just a good Justice League villain. Like, honestly, with the death of Superman, I think if there's a void left in there, and then now because the world's devoid of hope and stuff like that, if we just continue right after BVS, I'm sorry to say, like, if you like Nando V movies or not, I kind of like his Justice League rewrite. When he introduces They keep on saying the Legion of Doom. Like, okay, well, the first iteration of the Legion of Doom was the Injustice League, and it's I feel like it's kind of a prototype kind of thing that could be experimented with. But having the Injustice League be the major threat in like Justice League 1 and the Justice League 2, we're not going by Zack. This is kind of like completely different. But what I was thinking of, what I would think would be the most ideal thing, is have that. Then you could go into Brainiac with Justice League 2. Superman is back. He's leading the team because the team had to make this kind of super pact to protect the Earth because Superman's not around. And after that, they kind of just kept it. You know what I mean? And Brainiac he literally digitizes worlds and, and conquers planets or destroys them to add to his collection. You know what I mean? So if that's not a big enough villain, I don't know what is. Just diving right into the abstract. Oh, and also like Brainiac could have mind control, so he could even like take what was the remnants of the Injustice League, which would be made up of people that have grudges, like Lex Luthor, a Flash villain, Black Manta, a Wonder Woman villain, blah 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 blah. And Brainiac could take the remnants of that and mind control them and make that a Legion of Doom. You know what I mean? And like I think I would think that Brainiac is kind of big into words, and Legion kind of sounds kind of fancy, but and then progressing onto that, I just think if you bring out the cosmic, multiversal, immortal, only exists in avatars, because if you looked at his true form, he'd engulf an entire universe because he's just basically a force. Like I think it's too far. You know what I mean? And Justice League 3 would just end with his avatar dying and his army being destroyed, but he's just still in the background. I'll be back again. It's like, well, you're already here, and we dealt with you once. Like he kind of
wait, what? Wait, I'm like,
if I missed you somewhere, I'm sorry.
No. I'm like, this is what happens when. This is what happens when you stay up too late. I'm trying to. I am following you though, my dude. I'm just like, which what was this again?
This is not a film. This is like my idea for the perfect.
I'm saying the villain. Like, which villain is this?
Which one?
The one you were just talking about, like having an army and everything.
Oh, Darkseid having his army.
The parademons.
So what I'm saying is, if you jump right into Darkseid and his parademons, and like Darkseid he's literally a versal being. He exists in one universe outside of time, outside of the universe as we know it, and he's immortal. He's timeless, and his true form is literally encompasses that whole entire universe. He is part of he is a concept basically, or maybe one step below a concept. Where do you go from there? You know what I mean? It's too far. So when people say Zack built a foundation for the DCEU, I'm like, no, he built the house. There's no foundation. It's the house, and it's a complete thing, and you could live in it, and you could enjoy it, and you could chill out in your
That's a nice.
That's the Injustice. They say Legion of Doom. Injustice League. They should get more love. But
I was just gonna say, like, Carlos, it's sounding like you're low. It's like you're not trying to say they should have done like the MCU, but you're also kind of saying they should have taken notes.
What I'm saying is that
I'm not hating it though.
Yeah, there's something about the MCU. There's something about having interconnectivity between characters and building up from there, because literally that's how it worked in the comic. You don't start with the ending of of killing the universe killer. You know what I mean? You started with
some comics. I disagree with that. I mean,
when you start with like Wonder Woman or Batman or Superman, he could leave tall buildings in a single bound. Or Batman, he's fighting common criminals with bugs and stuff like that. And I think there's an evolution to that. So if you
not every Batman or Superman or hero comic starts with them at that point. There's a lot of them that.
So I could get that, but you kind of see what
to be fair,
what I want to like. Yeah, go ahead.
And to be fair, like with Zack's movies, like, yeah, we know that that Darkseid is multiversal and he has different forms and stuff like that. But what they established in the movies, like, we didn't get to that point yet. So for people that don't know about his true form and the multiversal stuff, they're just gonna think, okay, this is just a certain this certain stage level villain. We're not assuming that he can come back and he's a different form or whatever. Well, so it's not like he threw that at you,
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, if we would have went down that route, we would have got to there within now, because Justice League 3 would have been out by now if nothing was changing and stuff like that.
since we're kind of doing this, and I want to see how this sounds because in my head this looks like a really good lineup. Since we're kind of going down the potential not bit by bit MCU route, but how should the DCEU have been made?
Actually, I want to save that because we are actually planning to do a video and Meta and Carlos. I'll invite all of you guys so we can. But we're gonna do a special.
Can I say
separate presentation? Like what if we ran the DCEU and we all can present our ideas and stuff like that.
I'll be on that.
I would love that.
I'll just say this.
We've been planning that, so it's kind of weird that it came up, and I wanted to stop Carlos because I was like, I wanted to do that, but yeah, we'll do that this week for sure.
Awesome. So I'll just say this then, and this is the only bit I'll say. One, I was able to comprise of how I would have done the DCEU literally with just the roster of Injustice 1. I'm quite proud of that. But on top of that, I wouldn't have started with Superman. And this is the only part of my timeline that I would say.
Right.
I would have started with Batman. And it's only because of how Zack establishes Ben Affleck's Batman is he's been around long. Okay, by all technicality, he is a superhero, but then when Superman shows up, the definition of superhero went out the window. It started flying. So it's it would have added also more levity to us understanding where Bruce is coming from. We already knew where Bruce is coming from anyway in Batman v Superman, but you know what I'm trying to say? We would see why he thinks the way he does, basically. We would fully see that. That's just me though. That's just the first movie. So we would start with Batman, and that's the rest we can do on that episode that y'all have planned.
Yeah. I know it's kind of, and now it's everybody. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I was thinking with the What If series, I was like, we should do something like what if we ran the DCEU, and how would we literally just what you guys just did. I want us all to come in I think I proposed it to Ty is that he'll be the Toby Emmerich or whatever. And so he'll give us certain things you got to include Superman or you got to lead up to this villain or whatever. But then we come up with literally the rest and we all present our ideas and he'll pick and choose from there.
Because that'll be interesting because Carlos had a lot of good points though. I always thought Superman, if Man of Steel 2 did happen, Brainiac should have been the villain for that. But once they added Doomsday into Batman v Superman, I'm like, well, you just literally lost. It's that suspension of disbelief, right? Because you only get one shot per se to kill Superman, and you just wasted it in the second movie. That irritated me, and I'm not even that big of a Superman fan. But I was like, that is you literally just played the wild card so early in the game that it. Oh my God, you're so destined.
Yeah, I agree. I wanted to real quick go back to something Carlos mentioned earlier in that, obviously, and we were all talking Carlos, I know you said you don't want it to be the MCU, but it sounds like you definitely want notes taken from the MCU. Do you think, so then for all of us, do you think the MCU, and we'll start with DL and go to Metaverse and then Carlos, do you think these Marvel films have ruined the way we look at comic book movies? Because even Margot Robbie came out today about the Suicide Squad and was like, it's not a reboot, a prequel, or whatever. It's in that universe, but it's its own thing, and that's kind of the beauty of it,
I'm okay. Look, I'm okay with one-off storylines. There could be a story that literally starts and ends with one movie, and there's nothing else. I'm okay with them. I'm okay with using characters for one iteration of the character, and then that's it. That's all that stands. But what I'm saying, what with the MCU, they have latched onto something which I think they struck gold with that, and they were kind of lucky. They kind of stumbled upon it, and they it wasn't as fluid as it is now, and as cohesive as it was now back in 2008 when they just started. With Iron Man 1 and Incredible Hulk, but they worked towards that, and then with the first Avengers movie, it was everybody opened their eyes and they're like, oh my God, these characters are in the same world and they could come together and they could actually solve a threat and be heroes together, and then they disperse back to doing their own things. What I'm saying is, I think that's a goldmine for literary and film storytelling that could work very well with these beloved characters within the DC Comics pantheon of characters. So the purpose of that interconnectivity MCU-esque format is you get to see these characters be born, they live their life, they learn, they grow up, and then eventually they might die. You know what I mean?
Right.
And yearning for that and wanting that and being like, stupid, this is kind of like stupid, like example time. But if like Shazam is in his Shazam movie, the first one, he's fighting Savannah and he uses a Batarang, one of Ben Affleck's Batarangs, and he, uses it to get a, little backstab on Savannah and do that stuff. It was kind of like a one-off thing, but have that opportunity in the future to when Shazam is introduced to the Justice League and talks to Batman, and Batman already knows his identity, he's Billy Batson, blah blah blah. And then Shazam is like, "Oh yeah, thanks for saving me that one time." And and I know this is a stupid example, but it's like, "Thanks for saving me that one time." He's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." You're like, "Oh, you kind of did save me," and he's like, "Okay, whatever." He kind of did because his Batarang was the one to help him win that, or learning from Savannah. There's an importance of family, and bottom line, people learn lessons from one movie and they evolve and grow and they take I was the Fast and Furious. I thought of that immediately. They learn and they grow and they take that from one story and bring their baggage in a good way, not bad baggage. They bring that to the next, you know what I mean? So if there's somebody I'm really trying to think of an example right now.
Of another universe.
But
you know what I mean.
Give it a second. Yeah. Gather your thoughts. Think about it for a second. Dia, I want to hear from you because I know you've been kind of quiet over there.
Okay. So yeah, if I may. So you asked, did the MCU ruin how we look at comic book movies and shared universes?
Yes.
Yes, it has. Because yes. And here comes the put up.
I gotta get the I should have warned me, man. What have you? Come on!
How dare you slander Feige's masterpiece? What are you doing?
The irony of it is that someone can actually say that the MCU is their childhood. So that
right.
Yeah.
He's talking about my childhood,
bruh. It was my childhood too. I remember seeing Iron Man in 2008 in the theater. You shut your mouth. I'm part of 24 years old, and I got some problems, my friend.
Not talking about me.
I love it.
God.
But yes, the MCU has ruined how we looked at superhero movies and shared universes. Now, is the MCU bad? No, not at all. They actually what they're doing for Marvel, it's working for them. And there's a lot of people that are behind it. There's a huge fan base for it, and it has changed how we look at films for better and for worse. Because now everyone is trying to copy that formula when that formula does not work for every franchise. And I personally believe DC can go in a completely different direction than Marvel when it comes to their structure and how they do their interconnectivity. I personally didn't think it was a bad idea for them to do Batman and Superman as early as they did. There's a couple things I probably would have changed in between there, but it's like, I personally think it would have been so boring if we got origin films for every superhero before we got a Justice League film.
I get that, and in my perfect DCU, it doesn't have to be like that. You know what I mean? You don't need an origin film for every person. You could introduce somebody into an ensemble or a solo film from someone else. I just could continue to but go ahead.
No, that's cool. And then it's like, I guess for me, for them introducing Darkseid as early as they did, that personally didn't bother me because, me growing up reading comics and watching the animated series, when it comes to the level of the power levels and threats of DC, it fluctuates. You don't always gradually start from the least powerful one to the most powerful one. Sometimes it fluctuates. Sometimes you get Darkseid first, and then you go to Brainiac, and then you go to the Red Lanterns, and then you get Darkseid again, and then the Anti-Monitor. And it's like you don't always have to build up to the biggest threat in the world, because that's what makes DC unpredictable, because there are like different types of threats and different types of worlds and stuff like that. It's like that's why with me personally, I know that Meta, you said that you would start a universe off with Batman, which I understand why, and that's what they did like with the DC animated films. But I thought it was perfect for them to start the universe off with Superman, because off the gate you are establishing that there are other beings in other universes. You don't have to slowly build up to that. Like you're having us be used to these these cosmic entities and aliens and stuff like that, so it won't feel weird by the time we get to Doomsday and other stuff like that. So it's just like me personally, I already saw from being really grounded in the first Iron Man movie to now we're talking about multiverses and cosmic stuff with Loki and such. I already saw that progression. I want to see them go in a different direction that's like that I don't see coming, just for me personally. Now, am I saying DC did that perfectly, being unpredictable? No, there's some messy stuff here and there. I also don't think they should have done Doomsday. That's something they should have saved for a later film. But it's just like, no, the MCU is not the be-all, end-all of how to make good interconnectivity and good stories and for you to be invested in the characters. We all saw Zack Snyder's Justice League, and yeah, there may be some naysayers here and there, which is fine, but like we were invested in those characters in the Snydercut, right? And that was the first time we saw Cyborg on screen or the Flash on screen or Aquaman, and we still were invested in those characters because they were well written. At the end of the day, as long as the characters are well written and as long as the world is interesting, like we don't need to copy Marvel. I'm tired of other universes trying to do the same thing that they're doing.
Yeah, I think, and I do think it's not for everybody. Like we see like the Dark Universe with like the Mummy and stuff like that, absolutely flopped. It was.
Then you got the MonsterVerse with Godzilla.
The MonsterVerse is kind of running out of steam. You know what I mean? It's only it's only been 4 movies. And we kind of already got what we wanted to, which was Godzilla versus Kong, and I don't see any evolution of that.
There's so much more they could do. You have no idea.
There's a rumor that Son of Kong is next.
Maybe?
That's what they,
Son of Kong is next, and I'm hyped as all hell for that.
So I think when it comes to like having the exact same iterations of the characters, literally the same having the same actor, the same progression of the story being, technically, you fought Darkseid before, but now you're gonna fight this lesser threat and stuff like that. I understand the comics do that, but I feel like general audiences would be like, well, this guy is just gonna take over a country, or this guy's just gonna take over a planet and something like that. Well, but 5 movies before, the whole universe was about to get destroyed, and now.
Well, to play devil's advocate with that as well, because they did that in the MCU, because like the Avengers, the alien invasion, Loki, and stuff like that, and then what happened afterwards? Aldrich Killian, Iron Man 3, Winter Soldier, you got Hydra, okay, and then go to Age of Ultron, where it's
wait a minute.
Those people were isolated. those heroes were isolated. They the apes together strong, bundle of sticks kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like,
but I'll also say that Ultron is not as big of a threat as Loki and the
Chitauri. No, Ultron's more. I think Ultron's more of a threat.
The way that the movies presented it, Ultron was barely a threat. I mean,
Ultron in the comics.
In the comics, he's badass.
Yeah, and that's why I was so upset. I was so upset with how they did Ultron so dirty. I was like, bro.
Those were the only. I was a big DC. I read like all the DC stuff growing up, and I wasn't. The only Marvel comics I read were Avengers and Wolverine. And so that during the time, those were the Avengers comics. Was Ultron, and Ultron was their biggest villain, and he's their biggest threat. They even did. I don't know if you guys remember. They even did and 2 animated Avengers movies that I would argue are better than the first 2 live-action Avengers movies.
You're talking about, well, Avengers 1 is fire, but you're talking about the Ultimate Avengers movies, aren't you?
Yes.
Like from 2005? Yeah.
And Avengers,
that's...
yeah. Avengers 1 to me, by the way, another, here's a, I gotta pull it up.
Oh my God.
Yeah!
No!
Hot take central. Rename the stream.
Avengers 1 to me has not aged well. I think it's actually trash now after watching it.
What?
It's kind of camp.
Several years later, at the time, for it being the first superhero ensemble movie, amazing, game changing. Then Zack Snyder's Justice League came out. For me, it's just like
I'm gonna go ahead. Okay.
You can't even. It's so hard to compare the two because the level of like complexity and story of like Justice League compared to Avengers is just
okay. We're gonna go hot take after hot take here.
Hot take central.
So do you want to know? Do you want to know what I rated Zack Snyder's Justice League?
Oh boy, careful! You got a lot of people in the chat that may not like this.
Look, Meta, I'm with. We're standing side by side on the stream right here. I'm with you. Go ahead.
I'm going to rate. I'm going to explain my rating system. So first off, I don't do out of 10. I think out of 10 gives way too much leeway for you to excuse shitty movies.
Okay, out of 100.
Yeah. So 1 out of 5. Did you say out of 100?
Decimals.
1 out of 5 is my thing.
Okay.
Oh, Sheree's pissed. I already pissed off Sheree. Oh no. Okay, so 5 is fantastic, amazing. 4 is good. 3 is okay, all right. 2 is mediocre, and 1 is trash, or it's a dumpster fire. I rated Justice League, not Zack Snyder's Justice League, a 2 out of 5. It is mediocre.
Respectable. Okay.
Zack Snyder's Justice League, because there was a lot of the same, not all.
There's Kate in our
finish it. Go ahead. Speak.
There's a lot of the same scenes. There is a lot of new footage, though. There is a lot of new footage, but there's still some of the same scenes from.
Yeah, like over 2 hours of footage. Okay, go ahead. Continue.
Yeah. 3 out of 5. For me, it was just
Justice League.
Yeah, that's not my problem. Make a real.
And Justice League was 2 or 2.5.
There's no halves. It was a 2. But Zack Snyder's was 3.
I think that okay. I
was going to give it a 4. I was going to give it a 4.
I would say 4.
But
if I don't like 1 out of I don't like out of 5. But go ahead. Good.
This is why I've actually been nervous of everyone listening to my podcast. It's episode 2. Episode 2 of my podcast. I talk in the later half about Zack Snyder's Justice League. I have all of my thoughts there. Like, no, Sheree.
Bro, if you want to re-up on the podcast,
but it was weird.
Like I'm with you. Like I think the time for celebrate. Like I celebrated like a mother effer. I love Zack Snyder's Justice League. I love when it was announced. But I think celebration time is down. It's an awesome movie, but I think we could critique it now. You know what I mean? We could go.
And that's what I'm saying. Like
with the lens.
Again, you don't want to go below 3. 3 is not bad. It's not a bad film. I enjoyed it. More so, I would say than my friends that I watched it with. They're like, bro, this movie is still going. Oh my god! I'm like, y'all don't understand what this version is, do you? Like, y'all just don't know what this is. I knew what it was, but
yeah.
And that's why I give it a 3. Like, if y'all go listen to it, I'm not unbiased. I'm not like biased towards I'm not like just bashing it. I personally think I looked at it through a unbiased lens. Like, I didn't hate on anything except the slow-mo. That's the only thing I will say I kind of hated on was that the Flash scene. I thought that was creepy as all hell. Still do. Bro, why'd you touch your hair? I'm just thinking about it. Why'd you touch your hair, bro? That's weird.
The hot dog was really discolored. I'm like, yo, that hot dog is a little undercooked. Like the hot dog
and
water.
He fed that to a dog.
I'm like,
dogs
I'm like,
eat raw hot dogs. What are you talking about?
But that hot dog was so pale. Like don't you have a grill or something? Can you please grill
hot dogs?
Yo, I want to read the chat real quick. Hold on.
Gavin said, Austin, me? Yes, Gavin.
If I like the hot dog, kind of look like a peepee, you know? It look weird.
That's okay. Y'all with your dirty mind.
I recognize the council has made a decision, but given that it's a stupid-ass decision, I've elected to ignore it.
And I like to ignore that clip.
Yeah,
Sam Jackson.
Y'all seem
I just have the mouse hovering over Carlos here because he said pee-pee. I'm deciding if I'm going to take him out or not. There we go. No, I'm kidding. It's
but yeah, no, like again, like everyone, please just.
Yeah, I'm getting tired of that anyway.
This is censorship.
Wow.
Metaverse, get me on your stream. All right, we'll re-up this, bro.
Like no, like that's what I was about to say. Like if everyone please, like, and this is a shameless plug, but it's because I my case is in this podcast episode. Just look up Talking Meta. Listen to episode 2. I talk about the first half is Invincible, the second half is Justice League. Do not go wild with the clips.
God.
Okay, if you want to hear real good takes, you check out my channel. It's called DL Vince, and I talk about this movie too. And
That's not my problem. I think a real.
Okay, too many clips. All right, we gotta get some. All right, well, when it's a good time, you know what I mean, and probably don't cycle through the same 3. Okay, sorry.
Yes. But go ahead, DL. You were saying yes.
No. I mean, okay. So to be fair, I don't think the movie is perfect. You know, even though I really enjoyed the movie, yes, there's some stuff that I'd be like, okay, that doesn't need to be there, or this seems a bit self-indulgent. My grading system is I don't do numbers anymore. I used to. Mine goes like it's perfection, greatness, pretty good, just okay, trash, and god awful.
I like that.
Isn't that out of 6?
I love that.
Yeah, but
that
it's not actual numbers.
I love that.
I mean, mine is numbers that mean things, but you know, I guess that's not.
If that doesn't mean anything, that's all in the title. Is he just told you, like that is
straightforward. Because the thing with numbers is like people grade things differently. Like people even say that like 7 out of 10 is good or 7 out of 10 is horrible, or like whatever. Like, how are you grading this? So I just want to be upfront with people.
Yeah, you know, I
just be like, the grade should reflect how I feel. You know.
Hold on,
like,
fam.
I like that.
The chat's waiting for me outside, y'all.
Oh God!
What the fuck did I do? I just expressed my opinion. First Amendment, goddamn it!
I told you. I warned you. I said I don't know if this is the chat.
I didn't hate the movie though. I didn't hate the movie.
Meta, I'm with you. It's okay. Breathe.
Dude,
in and out. Deep breaths. Okay, breathe.
I have asthma. That's a little hard for me to do.
Oh my bad. My bad.
But, yeah, I think that's
unfair.
That's a great grading system, though. Like that is the most straightforward. Besides, if it's like a 7 for me, I still have to tell people like, no, 6 and 7 is good.
Yeah,
that's not like a bad thing. But
I mean,
yeah, five
like how I feel about the movie. So it could be, so people could understand. Like,
well,
did you really enjoy it? Did you hate it, or did you think it was in the middle, or whatever? So
I mean,
it was okay.
But isn't that the purpose? Isn't that the purpose of explaining yourself throughout the whole review, whatever it is?
True, but people don't always.
I know people like 6 again. It's like, what do you grade it? 6? Oh, nah, I'm gone.
Yeah, like 6 either means
I say
okay
the
or
numbers
bad to people, so it's like.
Yeah,
that's not always clear.
Yeah, you'll tell somebody a 6 and they'll be like, "Oh, that's terrible." But they're like, I think what is that? I gave Black Widow a 6, something, and I was like, "That's not bad. Like Black Widow's a decent movie. It's not like 5. Don't go see it score. Like a don't go see it score for me is like 4 and under, like, or like 3 and under. Actually, I won't be that cruel.
But I'm with it. I'm with it, Meta. You're okay, Meta. They're allies here, okay?
Look, guys, I have friends that don't like the movie either. So
it's
it's okay if you don't like
handicap match.
Yeah, man. I mean, hey,
like
this wouldn't be interesting, if we all were on the same page. So
this is a lumberjack match, bro.
For sure, it's. I mean, that's like the beauty of it. But as I said earlier, I think that when you're comparing, the first two superhero team-up movies of the main comics, Marvel and DC, right? Zack Snyder's Justice League and Avengers. I think Zack Snyder's Justice League just absolutely shits on Avengers 1 and 2.
Oh yeah, no, oh wait, if you ask me,
we
that
can
question,
politely
no,
disagree.
And that's in the perspective of the first team-up movie. You know,
now with Austin, I agree. Yes.
See, yeah.
I mean, yeah,
I can respectfully disagree.
But I think now's the time we critique Zack Snyder's Justice League. We celebrated it. It was a huge accomplishment. I loved it. You know what I mean. I loved it then. I still love it now. But I think that's enough time. And so if it was my rating, I give it a 4 out of 5, or about 80% or 85%. There are some things that could have been better. You know what I mean?
It was just good. For my rating system, it was good.
For me, ratings.
Yeah, actually, for me, my rating system, it's very good. I give it greatness. It's great.
Yeah, greatness. I love it. I love that, man. I love that rating system. But speaking of ratings, I got a final question for you guys tonight. Our final question of the night.
Let's do it.
Has a little thing to do with ratings. So here we go. Okay, so obviously with all the hype this week, Friday you got the Suicide Squad coming out. It seems like everybody is raving about it. I think it has like a 96 or 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. So again, talking about ratings, that brings the question: do you guys think that Rotten Tomatoes or these other rating sites are reliable sites? Let's just go personally. For you, are they reliable sites to determine whether it's a good movie or not? Yeah, let's start with you.
Rotten Tomatoes, hell no. IMDb and Metacritic are a little bit more reliable. Though when it comes to all grading sites in general, it's I only really look at them just to see how people feel. I don't know if it really affects if I'm going to watch a movie or not. Because there's movies that I hate that people love, and then there's movies that I love that people hate. And it's based off of what happens on what they say on Rotten Tomatoes or whatever. So I'm just I'm really excited for the Suicide Squad, and I'm glad that it's getting good reviews, because it'll be a headache, if I come out liking the movie and everyone's hating it, and I'll be like, oh, okay, I guess I got to defend this. But it's I'm glad it's getting positive reviews, but I'll only take that with a grain of salt, especially when it comes to Rotten Tomatoes. So
yeah, absolutely. Metaverse. I know you said you two agree on this, so I'm curious.
Okay, so this is the only time I will mention this god awful YouTube channel, but they got it right on this one. Who remembers when Captain Marvel came out?
I wish I didn't.
I took a screenshot.
I kind of did after Infinity War. It was super hype, and then Captain Marvel was just riding the hype train.
I took a screenshot of before and after they removed all those reviews. Ooh. Yeah, no, that wasn't something that Geeks and Gamers pulled out of their ass. That actually happened, and I'm actually shocked that they allowed that to happen. So congratulations, Jeremy, you got one right out of a million wrong. But yeah, no, I don't. If a company can do that, I can't trust them, and it goes back to with just journalism in general. There is no ethics or morality in it. It's if you get paid to post a good review, you're going to get paid to post a good review. That's why I have the system that I have. I know it is number based, but I try to make it as simple as possible. And I'm not, and I don't try to do the IGN thing either, where it's a 7.6, and it's what the heck is a 7.6?
Yeah, but
right. I don't do numbers anymore.
But I think 5 is a little too restricting though, because there are some things that are just close to like ever so close to 5-star perfection that are on the cusp of it, but it's not as it's not a great as a 4. No, it's even better than that. So I think at least out of 10, I think that's nice, you know. But having like an obscure decimal, freaking just 7.6, it's like what?
Hey man, it's Call of Duty is 6.8. Okay.
Yeah. So I'd say out of 10. You know.
Another reason why I have out of 5 is because I'm old school G4, and that's how Expo used to do the reviews. So out of 5 is just it's in my blood, honestly, at this point. But
right.
But yeah, as far as like other sites go, like IMDb and all that, yeah, I agree. Yeah, they're a little bit more reliable, but just in general, like I just like Cherie's right. Like I rather would just like see the trailers. If I'm interested, I'll see it. If I'm not that interested, I'll probably watch it later. And just make up my own opinion for the most part.
Yeah.
With me, like if you say Rotten Tomatoes as in like the amalgamation of all those reviews of personal like people and also critics, but like not like having the critic score and the audience score, like if not tampered with and removing audience scores, like which has been shown to happen.
Yeah.
I have evidence. I have receipts.
Yeah.
I have receipts.
Like I'm not with that, but the amalgamation of things and like kind of putting it into a number thing, I'm cool with it. I'm not like so in that aspect of Rotten Tomatoes, I take it as the initial kind of like smell test. You know, you look at it, it's like, oh, what's the audience score? Audiences are you know kind of mixed about it. It's around 50, and it's like, okay, this is a toss up. So then I look at individual reviews, and then I'm like, okay, people I trust. I like Jeremy Johns. I like Tyrone Magnus. You know, you kind of get like the critic.
Hey, Grace Randolph didn't like the Suicide Squad.
Well, you know,
we're talking about actual reviewers. I mean, come on, Austin.
You know, or like so I look at them or the Real Rejects and stuff like that, and I don't know what that was. So it's kind of a smell test. So in that aspect, I kind of like I utilize Rotten Tomatoes. I utilize those IMDb amalgam scores, and just find a review that you like that has the similar taste as you, and just ride with that. Is what I'd have to say. You know what I mean?
Actually, read the reviews. Don't just look at numbers.
That's it.
Yeah.
Look at what they have to say about it.
Because like some of my family members are like, oh, but it has this on Rotten Tomatoes. And I'm like, that's not an accurate metric for if the movie is good or not. That's just opinion.
Yeah, and you know, like I'd say I'm a victim of that. Like not a victim of that, but like of like that preconceived notion of not with the audience score, but with kind of my kind of formulating how a movie will be before even reviews are out. With the Suicide Squad, like I thought the Suicide Squad was gonna be super crass, like super on the nose, super just vulgar and stuff, and like have some heart because James Gunn has some heart, but like you know,
there's a lot of crudeness,
but like hearing the fact that it's like from the terrible beautiful mind of James Gunn or whatever, and hearing like the behind the scenes, the cast are like, who's the guy that plays Javelin? I don't know. But when in DC fandom, when he's like arms blowing off, heads blowing off, genitals blowing off, and I'm like, genitals? What? Yeah. So like and just like having that kind of nonchalant thing, like, yeah, I might be a square, okay, like when it comes to this thing, but when it comes to genitals blowing off or like torture and stuff like that, count me out. I'm not for that crudeness and just crude for crudeness sake. It's like, oh, it's funny that guy, you know, his sensitive bits and like he just got tortured and maimed and stuff like that. Like
that's the one thing I'm worried about with
but when I heard the reviews of Suicide Squad, people haven't been saying stuff like that. So I've been a victim of like my preconceived notions and stuff like that. So
yeah, and I'll be honest, even Grace took that and even the Javelin dude took that too far when he said that, because I don't remember actually. There's a like, get ready, kids. There's a naughty word coming. There's a penis in it, but that's it. It gets blown off or go anywhere.
Is there an inclination, like kind of like you know, behind some cloth or like is it like full?
It's full on there, baby.
It's that full skin. Come on, dude.
It's on that big screen right in front of your face,
guys. It's actually one of the scenes in IMAX ratio.
I'm not trying to.
Grace talking about. I didn't want to hear I didn't want to hear a bird getting tortured. Like what?
Yeah,
I'm a bird getting tortured.
Shut
I didn't watch a review, but like that's like, but like, hey, I'm not I'm not scared of penises. You know, like I got one myself. You know.
All right. We're gonna shift this now.
You can't help that.
But I'm like, get that out of my movie, man.
We're gonna. I move on from.
I gotta see that.
But no, I do hear what you're saying, and I hear what you. But at the same time, too, I get also. I don't think that James was doing it just to do. It seemed like everything in that movie had its purpose. It had its reasoning.
And I see that, and people have reviewed it, and I'm looking forward to looking at the movie.
Right.
And looking at the penis.
Oh God, there it is. And there's that.
Oh no, Carlos.
Yeah, okay. I won't say the P word again.
The what word?
But yeah, I mean, as far oh God, there he goes.
And you're demonetized.
Right. And there's that. And anyways, Diao, it's been a great stream. No.
Yes.
Wow. It's been a wonderful stream.
Right, and just end it right there.
End it right there.
I got this random comment. Gavin Khalid. James looks old. No disrespect though. I like that. I like the.
It's because I thought he dyed his. Did he dye his hair?
Yeah, he dyed his hair white. That's why he looks so quote unquote old.
Right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did because I'm like during the DC fandom behind the scenes, he was like regular old hair and then he dyed it.
Or did he just? Was that just for men in his hair when his hair was darker and he just let it go white?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't know if he died. I actually thought he just got old. But I mean,
he looks like he's like his 50s or something. So no, he shouldn't have like gray hair already.
I mean, you'd be surprised. Look at Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah, dude, Johnny Knoxville. Like,
to be fair though, Johnny
Knoxville aged overnight. Like that was you went from black hair to like
white
old man to literally being bad. He was the character Bad Grandpa the next day in real life. Like that was it.
When you do all the horrendous stuff that he's done to his body, you'll look like that too.
Yeah, no, he should be dead for sure. It's a miracle.
He really should be.
Him and Steve-O are actually. God asks himself every day how they made it. But
you know what? That's another thing why I'm not a big fan of Jack.
Yeah, get out of here, man. We love Jack.
Wait, who?
Were you gonna say you're not a fan of Jackass?
Nah, not the biggest fan.
All right. So guys, go ahead and let them know where we can find you guys. And,
I was like I'm not like
Carlos,
I'm not like a 90s kid. I was born in 2001. By the time all that happened,
I
was like when like the major movies came out, I was like 5,
He's
6,
Gen
7.
Z, guys.
Yes, I'm a Gen Zer. I'm a Zoomer.
I'm 96, so like I'm 25, but like even I stand with Carlos. Yeah, not like I wasn't into Jackass.
I'm just not with the crudeness.
Yeah, I'm like Zoomer. What the hell does that mean?
That's what it is. I said I'm a Zoomer. Yeah.
Oh, you're okay.
So it's like Gen Z Zoomer.
Got it. Boy. Right. All right, guys. Well, hey, good stuff. I mean, this was a lot of fun. Obviously, yeah. Riots. They're all coming. They're all coming for. That's right. You guys gave me too much power and see what happened. They're all coming from Meta.
Hey, I'll die on this hill. I don't mind. I did not bash Zack Snyder's Justice League. I gave it a fair review. If you don't believe me, go look up my podcast, Talking Meta. Listen to episode 2. You will hear me not bash this film.
I mean, if that's how you feel, that's fine. That's fine.
I'm with you, bro. I'm not gonna die on the hill with you, but like I'll chisel your gravestone.
It's like, hold on.
I'm halfway there.
That's like, I got you, bro. And then I turn around to see him get ready to die with me on the hill, and then he's already like halfway down the hill. I'm like, wait a minute.
No, I think everything is up for improvement.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes, and that is why we have these panels. That's why I enjoy doing this. I enjoy disagreeing with all you guys. I don't like it when we all are on the same page.
Yeah, because then it becomes an echo chamber.
Exactly. Well, guys, thank you all for coming and joining us today. We had a lot of people in the chat, a lot of interaction. We super appreciate it, guys. Why don't we'll start with DL and make our way down. Why don't you let everybody know where they can find you, your social medias, your YouTubes, your tweeters, all that fun stuff.
I'm scared now.
Okay, well, you can find me on YouTube. It is DL Vince, exactly how it's spelled right here. I talk about movies and shows and everything in the nerdy geek cultures. And yes, I talk about DC and Marvel and all this stuff. So you will see my review of all this stuff. And pretty soon when I'm going to talk about Suicide Squad on my channel. I got Disney reviews. I got bunch of other things. So if you want to hear my take on stuff, go ahead and check out my channel.
Heck yeah. All right, Carlos.
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube, Twitch, and with that one, Carlos, spelled the same way you see at the bottom left, and that one, Carlos YT on Twitter.
Nice. And then Metaverse.
I'm scared now. I'm gonna get a lot of freaking.
If you want to go ahead, Metaverse, give out your address, social security, credit.
No, I didn't talk to myself. What you talking about? I'm gonna get so many hateful DMs. Like, what do you mean? I ain't gonna even go to sleep tonight because my phone's going.
So, guys, if you want to mail Metaverse a letter of anger or disgust, whatever, you can mails that things? Address is 9.
Who mails things in 2021? Actually, a lot of people still do. But anyway, if you want to not send me a threatening DM, you can find me on Twitter at the most meta. And as I've said multiple times on here, I do have a podcast. It's Talking Meta. You can find us on almost every podcasting platform you can think of under the sun.
Cool.
Hey, why is Cuts going to know where I live at, bro? That's private information. That's TMI.
Right, just throw that out there. Go ahead and send all your hate mail to Metaverse, guys.
Wait, what did Cherie put? Hold on, Finn, where are you at on the chat? I'm scared.
Tell us where to find him.
Oh,
go ahead.
No, private information.
Right. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for being here. I hope all of you guys can return for whenever the next panel is. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Tell all your friends, tell all your enemies about this video. Tell the people you don't like about this video. Tell them you want us, to come watch us, and tell them that they don't like you, and it'll be fun. So yeah, guys, make sure to comment, and we will see you guys soon. We do it for you, and we do it for the culture.
For the culture.